Welcome to episode 9 of our podcast, the Swiss Miss Gaming podcast. This episode is going to focus on Invincible Army.
Hey, I'm John. I just started playing Pano Winter Force recently. I'm actually painting them, so I'm pretty excited to be playing my Space Vikings pretty soon.
So do you have like a huge bias against Yu Ching now that you started playing Pano?
You know what? Now I do. And they were probably the only army I'm not eyeballing
For now.
to buy. No, because they just don't appeal to me. I don't like the yellow.
You're not into Toha either.
Yeah, that's fair. But I have a Grief Up, so...
That doesn't count. That's Sigma. Do you not have any of the other combined army Tohas? The Fractas and the...
I really don't. I used to.
Fractas are Toha?
Yeah?
Yeah, Fractas and Macrep are...
Yep.
That's why they have like the inverse armor that when you hit them they get stronger.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway,
And then we have...
Yeah, I'm Bruce. I play Invincible Armies. I've had them for a while. I haven't painted them because I just don't hate myself enough to paint yellow. I've been working a lot on
Contrast, homie.
wrapping up my No, fuck contrast. I just don't like the way it works for me. I've been working on a lot of my Pano, got my Cosmo wrapping up, and I'm probably going to be transitioning into painting either my O12 or going over some of my Ariadna again.
And I'm Carl. I am currently building my Invincible Army, painting them. I've painted 20 of them so far. They are awesome. They do love contrast. Don't listen to Bruce.
That's true. They do. It totally works for people. I just don't like the way I paint contrast.
and something worth mentioning too is that contrast is a really good like base layer.
And I did that with my Aleph. I've done that with my Pano. I might do that with my Yu Ching. I haven't decided yet. It's a great base layer for those hard yellows and oranges and whites.
Sure.
And then you can go in and do some layers and highlights over them.
Right.
It's also great to just get a painted army
Yeah, absolutely.
and then go play with a
I also just have the time to...
Yeah, we have jobs.
I will have
Fans.
a much busier... That's not true. I will have a different schedule coming up soon. But yeah, I'm trying to get as much painting as I can now.
Let's see. So we're going to start with the new coming soon releases. I think this is probably one of the less exciting release packs.
Says you.
I am so hard
I'm down for Beta
for
Troopers.
Beta Troopers, Langya, and the Noctifer.
I think my point is that half of these are repacks, which has not been common lately.
That's true.
So
Right.
we have Beta Troopers. This box is pretty sweet.
They look great.
It's interesting that a lot of their new packs have had a tin bot.
Yes.
It's been 3 dudes and a tin bot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
It makes me relieved that Varg don't get a 10 bot because then that makes it more likely that we get a 4th sculpt of something interesting.
Like a Karhu.
Yeah.
Or
like
a Varg character. Like they did with
Jujax.
Jujax. That's what they did with Jujax. They weren't even in the thing.
That'd be
God, I
interesting.
hope not. But anyway,
Or a Noct character.
A Noct character would be
but
weird.
that wouldn't fit in the box.
Sure it would. It's Pano. There's one garbage character. You just never use them.
Uma.
Gunner.
Uma's not good.
Gunner's alright.
Dude, these beta troopers are really sick though.
No, they're awesome. It's funny that they're named that because
They're
such Chad energy.
They are-
You call them beta troopers. Like, alright.
they're super chat energy. I love the antenna on the paramedic-y one.
Yeah.
The hacker looks cool. They're really cool.
I'm excited, especially because now you can run the Starmada core of beta
Right.
troopers.
We've got the Long Ya. These guys are derpy as fuck, and I
They-
love them.
They are so cool, but they should not be S3.
They are. It's a travesty that they are S3 with
blows
these
my mind.
sculpts. Like,
Also,
unless they're like tiny. Have we seen them next to something else?
no, but they just
No.
look too tall.
Maybe they like screwed up the scaling and stretched them tall.
Yeah. I was talking to Bruce about this earlier today. I feel like somebody at Arsenal was either excited or very disappointed that now they have to make a Silhouette 3 no mimetism camo marker with the outline of a long yacht
Right.
cut out.
Yeah. How do you do that?
Carefully.
I think you just don't.
No, I think they will though.
I love the little missile launcher
Yep.
on this guy. The little Panzerfaust and Flammen Spear.
This thing is like such a weird little derpy BattleTech
It's so good.
robot.
I really think it's good.
I got abused by one.
really?
In that game that we shall not talk about, where my Wu Ming
You mean your foray into Invincible Army?
My Wu Ming, all the survivors of that battle got sent to the Wu Ming
Where you were
Corps.
playing against a player who only had like 260 points in their list.
And
you
a
had
meme
300.
list, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Repeater's bad, turns out.
Long Yao Gu.
Entire army hackable, repeater bad. These guys are cute. I like that they're unique and
Yeah.
derp, and I already ordered
They're like
them.
fun derp. I
They
don't
are
get
fun
what's
derp.
with the weird little eyeball on top.
If
Like,
you
what
play,
is
Is that the camo generator?
that? I don't know, but what is that thing? It looks like the trash monster from Star Wars.
do you have like a flash pulse or something?
I don't think they.
Don't.
Mine, like a mine
You know, I can
beholder
see it as a
dispenser
mine
kind of
dispenser.
deal.
If that thing is a mine,
They don't have mine dispenser, but like maybe
It-
that would be an odd place to put a mine.
maybe it chucks them like a discus. I don't know.
If you play White Banner or if you play Yu Ching, I really think you should get these guys.
They're very cool.
Or if you just want an alt sculpt for your missile bot.
You know,
True.
that wouldn't be a bad proxy.
Like if you really like the model and you just want to own them, you could totally use these as like TR bot or missile bot
Yeah, that's
in
a
addition
good
to your
point.
flash pulse bots. They're cute. I like them. We got the Noctifer missile.
So cool.
So sexy.
This model is a war crime.
It really is.
You should buy 2 of them.
You should not.
Seriously.
You should buy 2 and run 2 always.
Hot takes.
But
Hot truths.
man, it's
Nah, this
cool.
model's sick.
I'm glad they updated it.
Yes.
Ultras Vasti are a little.
They're bad.
Yeah,
They're
not
rough. I
good.
mean, listen, they're iconic for what they are. I mean,
They're bad.
Like little green aliens and their little spacesuits, but these guys look sinister.
I mean, old Sheshkin is not a good look.
I would say most old combined models are just not great. Like it's really, you really can just see the level of quality.
I like the Icadron. I like the robots.
Sure.
And that's really their second try at the robots.
Yeah.
And then the other 3 releases, we have the Ariadna tag. Hype.
Fuck you, Carlos.
Listen. If it means something, that's gonna be cool. Otherwise, yeah. Why are you fucking with me like this?
I hope that the Blackjack gets a huge glow up.
Yeah, they deserve it.
It should
because
go up 20 points, and it should go up in badassness
It
the
should,
same amount.
It should be such a big deal.
It should be a 50-point light, air quotes, tag
Yep.
that...
Make it immune to possession because it's just some dude
Yeah.
operating a servo suit.
I'd be here
I
for
mean,
that. Immune to possession, still keep the same, like, BTS 3.
Don't give him a pilot profile because how do you get out of that thing?
Yeah, you're just dead.
Right. Yeah. You're strapped into the arm.
They could do a lot of cute things, like give it NWI.
Yeah.
A tag with
Yeah.
NWI, and
Yeah.
you could either let it go unconscious and
Yeah.
try and repair it, or
Yeah,
fight to the
that's not
death.
bad. But yeah, a little weird.
We'll see what this looks like. We have no idea what the rules look like. We
Right.
know the rules have to change.
Do we?
I hope.
But they're
It has to
Invo
become a
1.
tag.
Does
It's
it?
not a tag currently. It does have to become a tag
Why does it have to?
because it's called a tag on the box.
I
It has to have the
don't know
tag
if that-
characteristic.
I don't know if that means anything
I think it does.
because Code 1's a lawless wasteland.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Anyway,
I hope they buff and make it more expensive all at once.
Keep the good thoughts going for the Blackjack because it needs it.
yeah, keep them in your prayers.
And I hope they keep AVA 3 for USARF.
Yes.
Regardless of what they do to
No,
it.
if Blackjack's got like incredibly gnarly all of a sudden, and then
And they already
release,
buffed
like,
US
one
Ariadna.
Blackjacks, yeah.
Do we have that changelog up? We could talk about that changelog. It was
mean,
kind of interesting.
I think the big ones were Caden and Armand got shock immune,
Yeah, that's
which
huge.
are big deals. Para
Airborne Ranger.
Airborne
got
Rangers.
D-charges.
got D charges.
One
and
profile.
less point of CC.
Yeah,
The forward observer.
the Forward Observer profile, which is the one you want, now has
Yeah.
D charges, and all of them got less CC by
Right.
one, but who
Which-
cares?
You know, as we've talked about, is tremendous for US Ariadna because they have like one D charge.
I mean, I've brought lists with everything that can blow up consoles before.
Right.
In max AVA.
Right.
Like,
So having that dude with it, and also he didn't compare favorably to the Spetsnaz or the Paracommando.
yeah,
or
he
anything
was
else that had
in
D
vanilla.
charges.
He was just not a
Right, you just
option.
wouldn't take him. Now
was-
he's got a point again.
In vanilla, the only stuff you would really take for, well, at least for me, in USARF, it would be what? Unknown Ranger, you could do Van Zandt, and the Infiltrating Grunts, maybe a Foxtrot.
I like Foxtrots.
And-
Foxtrots are solid.
And Desperados.
Foxtrots
Yeah.
compete a lot with a lot of other very good skirmishers,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not totally overshadowed.
I think Foxtrots still
They're-
need D charges. But
They also need D charges. I agree.
yeah.
I think it's stupid that they don't.
Right.
Like,
rockets have D-charges. Anyway.
so yeah, the Blackjack gets a tag box. We're excited to see the rules, the model. I mean, this is the best model for the Blackjack.
Oh, hands down, it's so good.
And then JSA Action Pack getting reboxed. Cool.
Nothing new there.
I'm glad it's getting reboxed so you don't get the paper terrain, but it does suck that you're not grabbing the dice anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
That does kind of suck. We've talked about JSA. This box is great.
Yeah, if you play JSO, you need to buy this box. Full
I don't know how you play JSA without buying this box.
Proxies. Or you're an incredibly saltmonger and 3-player.
I guess.
Anything's possible.
So that's the new releases.
Oh, and the Salamandra, which, by the
Oh,
way,
right.
is not in Siocast.
Which is surprising.
Kind of disappointing, actually.
I was waiting to buy it because I wanted it in
I wanted it
Siocast.
too. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I will have 2 Salamandras if I don't have to weigh 40 pounds of metal.
You know, if I can save my back a little bit of
Yeah.
pain.
I lifted up my Infinity collection today. It's all in one box.
Ooh,
and,
dangerous.
Oh my God, that's heavy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The Salamandra is probably one of the, if not the coolest tag in the game, aesthetically.
Absolutely.
It's definitely top 2. I don't know what the other one would be, but maybe the Avatar.
Avatar's up there.
Avatar Blue Wolf? No.
I don't think. I mean, the Blue Wolf is cool, but
I think
Different kind of cool.
ITS pack Yodams
Yeah.
is really iconic.
I don't think it's there though.
I think the
The Salamander is a tag that you see and you go, "What is this game?
Yes.
I want to play this game."
Yep.
And then you get a pretty nice little tag that is fine. So that's the new releases. So let's go into Invincible Army,
Let's do it.
starting from the top. Zanche,
I mean, they're basic.
they're fine.
You know, I think that there's one thing worth mentioning is that you do not get cheap anything in this army except Zashi.
That is true. These and your remotes are your only cheap filler.
Yeah.
And you might not even take them.
We haven't-
okay if you don't take them.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Zanche before. They're CC 15, BS 11, Fizz 10, Whip 13, Arm 1, Line Troops. 11 points for the combi rifle, and everything else is more expensive. We're not going to go.
I think that these guys are really, really good batteries for the Hideout multi-sniper MSV2 guy. We'll get into him later, but these guys can function fairly similarly to how a Kamau,
Like a Fusilier fire
Commute,
team.
yeah.
Something to note, they are only AVA 4,
Yeah.
which is weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they're also AVA4 and White Banner.
It's weird.
It is interesting.
It's a weird limitation on Zanche, which is not really... Like, this
That-
thing compares pretty unfavorably to the Fusilier.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
The Whip 13?
yeah,
Not like that's going to matter too much.
You want to take a cheap hacker, I guess.
it's kind of nice if you
Yeah.
have the missile, because he's more likely to stand his ground after surviving a face-to-face.
If he survives
It happens.
Yeah, no, it does.
It happens, and
Yeah.
that 5% chance for him to stand
Yeah.
may be relevant. It does make their hacker better, and hackers and core fire teams are great.
Yes.
Sixth Sense, little Whip 13 jerk spotlighting you or trying to turn you off.
Yep.
They're fine. So by the way, we can't pronounce anything in Chinese. Forgive us.
Yeah,
We're going to try.
We're Americans.
And I think we've already done Zanche wrong, but that's fine.
Zashi, probably.
Something like that.
I
whatever.
know I can't do it.
So
Fair
this
enough.
is the Zanche Yisheng. This is your doctor. 15 points. It's a doctor.
Don't take it.
What's the better doctor in the army?
Yeah, but you also have a bunch of paramedics.
True.
Right, but I don't know. I mean, there was a time when doctoring was better.
Sure.
Also, the little Yudbot remotes.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
It's the kind of thing, if you have 18 points in your list left over,
Yeah.
this and a little helper bot,
yeah.
not bad. Not great. Nothing really to say. Mech engineers,
Same deal.
same deal. AVA 2
Oh, okay.
is
cool.
weird, so I don't know. Note that.
But you've got, there's only three engineer choices in this army, right? You got Craig Cochran, you got
There's 4 engineer
Chunghee
options.
Jung,
Yeah.
and,
There's a hideout engineer.
I didn't even know that. Okay.
Hideouts are incredible.
And
Yes.
hideout engineers are wild cards, so
Oh, cool.
I think the mech engineer has less of a place in this army because odds are you're going to be taking crit or a hideout or the character engineer.
I mean, if you want to run... Like
They're not bad.
Like a tag-centric list, I guess. There might be a place for him there.
Sure.
Again, just spitballing here.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Also, the little helper bots are AVA4, so you could take 2 engineers with 2 helper bots each.
Oh, wow.
And 2 Guija.
And 2 Guija or a Blue Wolf. Not Blue Wolf. Yeah, I guess 2 Guija.
That's the list.
War Core. War Cores are War Cores. If you have 3 points, you take a War Core.
Yep.
All right, now we're into an interesting profile. Chief Mech Engineer Chunghee Jung.
I was down on him for a little while, but +1 BS attack damage on that K1 combi rifle speaks to me.
Or the light rocket launcher. Like, it's kind of funny to have a little template weapon in your back pocket.
Yeah, so he's weird. He's about 30 points. He's either 29 or 30 points. 30 points gets you combi rifle, light rocket launcher, decharges. 29 points gets you K1 combi rifle, AP mines, decharges.
Yeah, boy.
All the profiles are wild cardable. He has BS attack +1 damage, dodge +1. He's an engineer and he's shock immune. He's 1 wound, armor 1, BTS 3. CC 17 is worth noting too.
And he's an unhackable repeater.
He is an unhackable repeater.
Big deal.
It is.
To me. So what I'm thinking is in this army, almost everything you're going to be using that's a repeater or can get a repeater or whatever is hackable. Your invincibles. Hacking is kind of a big thing for you.
Yes.
With John here, you can move him over to the thing you're afraid of and hack through your own repeater from safety.
However, I will say he is pretty pricey compared to Hideout.
Well, yeah, he's different for what you're getting from him, though.
He is very expensive, would be my note. He is whip 14, and he is an engineer.
Yes.
Right. I just think he's got a lot. That K1 combi rifle really is kind of nasty.
Damage 14 K1 is...
Could hit like a fucking freight train, especially because if you're running something like that. And honestly, I take him in my list, which was a weird... I wasn't expecting to, and then next thing you know, I'm like, oh shit, I'm taking this guy.
He makes things like Yodom's very unhappy.
Right.
Him and Suppressive Fire is hilarious with that
so
thing.
this guy is like the scary close range threat that you don't get when you take a Shangji's.
Right.
So...
He's cool. I just think he's very hard to fit in.
Yes.
Agreed.
Oh, absolutely. 30 points in this army is...
He's
like
no bear
half
code.
of another dude. Right.
ITS bike, we've talked about these. If the mission allows it, pick the one that you like most for your army and the mission. Probably the Red Fury or the submachine gun.
Yep.
But the boarding shotgun's also good. Moving on. DOW Ying. These guys are awesome.
Ooh.
Yep. I really like him.
So this is a BS 12, Phys 10, Whip 14, Arm 3, BTS 3, 1 wound, medium infantry, air quotes. Camouflage, surprise attack, shock immune, Mim 3, stealth. This is your lieutenant.
Yep.
Yeah.
They come in, like, we can talk about the other profiles, but I really think the 3 that are worth talking about are the lieutenant profiles. You can get a 22-point boarding shotgun, lieutenant +1 order. You can get a 30-point boarding shotgun, lieutenant +1 order hacker with a hacking device, or a 34-point +1 order lieutenant with a multi-sniper, shock mines, and mine layer for 1 SWIC. It's not even 1.5 SWIC.
It's one Swick.
Like,
It's really good.
all of those 3 are excellent choices.
What I really dig about this guy, too, is that, like, as a camo lieutenant, you're way safer.
You're so much safer.
It's obvious that you're taking a DOW Ying, probably.
Everyone knows you're taking a DOW Ying.
Right, and then there's like 1 camo marker prone on a roof somewhere, and you're like, oh, and you've got 2 lieutenant orders. Cool, right, I wonder what's going on. But also, if you take the hacker, that one's interesting to me because you can't hack camo.
The other cool thing with the hacker is, like, late game, if you've lost your NCO and you need to go push a button, you have an extra 2 orders on your lieutenant to go up and achieve an objective where you don't care if your lieutenant dies trying.
Right.
It might be turn 3. Who cares? Get that objective.
Right.
And you have 2 extra orders to do it on a competent body. He's whip 14.
Yeah.
BS 12 with a boarding shotgun is also no joke. He can fight an armor 3 with mimetism. I mean, surprise attack, boarding shotgun is no joke.
Correct.
I mean, do you guys see the multi-sniper being a thing as a lieutenant?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wrecked your ass
sim-
with one.
You did. I just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I got you.
I misjudged 32 inches with a tank hunter autocannon.
Ooh.
I was out by about half an inch, which turned my I'll hit on fours to I am minus 12 and can't hit. Womp womp. So
Again, also too, if you want to, you can just take the DOW Ying multi-sniper mine layer profile as a red herring and just bring something else if you wanted to.
you're not wrong.
They are AVA 3. You could always bring 2 of them.
That's fair, actually. Sure.
And they're not, like, inappropriately costed.
Right.
I do think the multi-sniper having mine layer is a big deal. Because now, if your opponent has a way to get to one of your camo tokens, they have to guess which one is the lieutenant.
That has stopped me in my tracks on assassination runs before.
Because you're like, well, it could be one of these 2. My odds of getting it have just decreased significantly.
Yes, and also even if you know where the mine is, that mine could be somewhere that shuts down an approach route.
And a lot of things that can get there are like parachutists and things like that have 1 wound, and they might not even have great fizz. They might be fizz 12 at best, often, and
then you end up
you fail that dodge, which you're going to fail most of the time because -3.
Yeah. And
then you damage 13 and die. And then they still have their camo lieutenant laughing.
Yeah.
This guy's great. He's almost an auto include. I might put him at auto include for this army.
I would say auto include.
There are some other options, and John's over here like, I didn't take him.
I did not take him.
Fuck this guy. He's trash.
I played Frostbite. We'll come to it. I took a Guija lieutenant.
Okay.
Which makes sense for what we're going for with that mission. But anyway, more on that later.
But yeah,
I would say if you're not doing something hyper specific, this is your who's my lieutenant be? This guy.
If you want to play Invincible Army and you're like, how do I play this army? One of the first things they tell you take a DOW Ying lieutenant.
Yep.
And then build your list from there.
Yep.
When I bought into Invincible Armies, the first thing I bought was the DOW Ying blister, along with a couple other things, but we don't want to talk about that.
And luckily,
that's the purchase that matters.
The starter set also comes with one. It comes with the multi-sniper,
which is an amazing sculpt. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, I like both. And the thing is, like, WYSIWYG, whatever, it's going to be in camo state most of the time.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Whatever. Let's talk about Laegong. This guy's weird.
He is. Albedo MSV1 means he can't see himself for the first turn.
Is he a vampire looking in a mirror?
Yeah.
All right, so he's weird. He's 6'2" speed, CC 16, BS 13, Fizz 11, Whip 14, Arm 3, BTS 3, 1 wound, NWI, Shock Immune. And like we alluded to, he has Albedo, MSV1. He's a character. He has 2 profiles, a 34-point profile with Shock Marksman Rifle, Nano Pulsar, Blitzen, Breaker Pistol. Get used to hearing the word Breaker Pistol, by the way.
Yeah,
right.
And a 32.1 with the submachine gun instead of the Shock Marksman Rifle, but it's just chain of command. He's weird. I have a hard time filling him in my list. He is a wildcard trooper.
With MSV.
With MSV and Albedo.
It's just I would rather take a hideout.
Yep.
That's my issue with it.
I think...
For what I'm paying.
Yeah.
He's more expensive than a hideout, and you're getting a Shock Marksman Rifle or a Chain of Command.
And I don't like a chain of command wildcard trooper. I just don't.
Right. He's cool. He's got uses. Albedo is always cool. I mean, especially because I don't know if you can get Hacking Device Plus in this army.
I don't think so.
I don't think you can, which might be a humongous deal. It's either incredibly useful or worthless.
And also, too, just to talk about
Does Yuching have
how...
Hacking Device Plus at all? I don't think they do. I don't think Pano and Yuching have Hacking Plus at all available to their faction.
And with Bikers now having Mim 3 in this ITS, it's like I would envision a lot of people bringing a couple more MSV pieces just to stop bikes from being as annoying.
Yeah. So I think
Albedo definitely has a place.
Yes. And I think I would be most tempted by the Shock Marksman Rifle because it has a relevant range band. I mean, you want to be kind of picking off those MSV troopers. I feel like this guy could probably eat a camo, I think.
So our Twitch chat has asked us Bruce a question. Did you buy into IA when you bought UKR, Bruce?
I did not. I think that was... I think I bought UKR before I bought into IA. Around the same time, I spend too much money on Infinity.
Same.
No, hold on. We need to talk about what's too much. Do we spend a lot? Sure. Too much?
That's a good point. I can never give enough money to Spanish Perfection.
You know,
Right.
this game is easy to spend money on
Absolutely.
compared to my experiences with other games. Just to totally derail this conversation, but so many other games, I feel like you just throw money at it to finally get your one playable list.
Yes.
You know, the 40Ks and the Team Yankees and the Flames of Wars. It's just like a money pit, and then eventually you have a playable army that your goal was to get to.
And I'm over here buying dipshit units that I want to run or paint up because they look
Right.
cool.
I'm like, oh, I want all fat yon-yons. Like,
And this game, you can spend $100 and buy into Invincible Army, and you're like, cool, I can play this army
Yeah.
as I'm fleshing it out with more
Yeah.
things that
right.
I want.
And that makes
100%.
it so much more easy to buy all the other ancillary shit that you don't need but you really want because it's cool.
Because, like, especially if you go by a sectorial, it's like you spend $200 or $300, now you own the entire range.
Yeah.
And then your next sectorial in the same army is cheaper because you already own the remotes and, like, maybe some of the line
Specialists,
troops.
the
And
line troopers.
they all cross over. And you're
one
like, I don't
unit.
need more Zanche. Cool.
Right.
I own them.
I
want
think
more
for
Zanche.
the first couple months that I was playing, I was solely playing USARF, and I bought the USARF box, 2 blackjacks,
As you do.
and the Marauder box, and that's all I really had for the first couple of months.
And you can build a lot of different lists with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play Vanilla Ariadna, and it was just like, oh, I bought some stuff, and
Oh, it works great. Perfect.
So, yeah, this game is really good at suckering idiots into it.
Now,
Hey.
getting back to
Hey.
other idiots in Invincible Army.
okay, so Laegong, you could use him.
Yeah, if you got Defiance and you painted him up, try him
Or
out.
Aristea.
Yeah, the Airscape model doesn't look great.
It's not great. I do like the Blitzen and
Yes.
the Nano Pulsar. Blitzens are a thing that you kind of overlook until there's one getting fired at you.
Right.
And then so you're like, oh, it does what? Ooh. My Yodems does not like that.
So I should bring a Flamin' Spear Tanko and then a Blitzen Tanko.
It's just a nice aero option,
Totally.
especially in a fire team.
Totally.
Like when suddenly 2 Blitzens are coming your way.
Not
yikes.
great.
Something I'm going to mention about having a Blitzen in this army in particular is that we'll get to it later, but you've got a 14-point wildcard baggage bot.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
you are always going to be in reload range.
That is a fair point.
So you have this burst 2 Blitzen with MSV. You know what? Maybe that's his role.
And
'cause he's a
Albedo, too.
Blitzen machine. Like, well, the Albedo wears off, but
Right. But that first
Yeah.
turn, you can
you've got this
take a
power-
cute shot
Yeah.
against
Marut.
something.
Yeah, anything. I mean, that shuts off a bot. You know
A
what I mean?
100-point tag can get
And-
just demolished by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
so funny. All right, Zooyoung. The core of this army.
I really like these guys.
These guys are 6-2 speed. That was a nice upgrade in this edition.
Yeah.
CC17, not terrible. BS13, Fizz 12, Whip 13, Arm 3, BTS 3, 2 wounds. They're real heavy infantry.
Yep.
and having number 2 is cool.
Yep.
God, it baked into their base profile.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
So when these guys are in a fire team, it is hard to break that fire team.
Yep.
They can Harris, they can Duo, they can Core, they got Dodge +1, they have Shock Immune. And you know what? The base profile is 26 points for a combi rifle and 2 breaker pistols.
Yep.
Yep.
And those breaker pistols slap.
Yes, they
Within
do.
8, if you're in a Harris, you're at burst 4.
Fastest
gross.
hand of the West.
Just wrecking all of Ariadna.
Yep.
Just making them cry. And honestly, making most things cry.
Yeah, because I mean, especially against those units where it's like, oh, my BTS and armor are the same.
Like,
you
no,
might as well
it-
be shooting AP at that
Yeah.
point because that's what breaker is.
And there's, Pano has a lot of it. Well, they'll have like the weird high BTS units like Kamau and Bolts where they're BTS 6 armor 2. So, okay, it's not good against them. But that's.
But then you can use your regular guns against
yeah,
them.
then you get a combi rifle, whatever. You can pay another 2 points, get a tin bot -6. You're going to have a lot of tin bot -6 in this army.
You're gonna need them.
Do all of them have +1 burst breaker pistols?
Yes.
They do. Every
Yes.
single one.
All the models have 2 breaker pistols on
Yes.
their hips.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
no,
so
they're
cool.
slinging. Yu Ching has spared no expense
Yeah, no
for this
kidding.
army.
Correct.
It makes your orcs feel just a little sad.
Good.
Um,
Pano was a mistake.
34 points gets you a heavy machine gun. It's fine. I think there's better heavy machine gun options later in this list of Zooyoung.
But if you want to, of
In
Zooyoung.
this list of Zooyoung, there are two
Correct.
better heavy machine guns coming.
Correct.
Possibly three. There are three other.
Oh!
Boarding shotgun for 26 points. Also handy. I mean,
Great way to
Sure.
defend. If you have one of those guys just protecting your fire team in the back line,
Or
you have a parachutist
going around a
Right.
corner to take out some, I don't know, some midfield guy who has one wound. And
Yeah.
what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, these guys are cheap enough too that you can afford to make some.
I mean, they cost
aggressive
about the
plays.
same as an SAS.
Yeah,
Perspective.
And these guys can come around the corner with their boarding shotgun. They're gonna mess you up because they're
And they
DS
might
13,
survive.
And they might survive.
And you know what? If they die, if you have another Zooyoung in there, your link didn't even break.
Right. Yeah, disgusting.
Multi-rifle, this is one I wouldn't take.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I'm not hot on multi-rifles. And
That is the weakest of these profiles, and I think
just pain points for
paying
it.
the points
yes.
for multi-rifles not ideal.
Multi-rifles are fine, but 2 points more than a combi rifle. I'm not exactly stoked on the combi rifle profile as it is. It's fine.
There's one profile. The tap
Yes.
awareness one is like, cool.
We're getting there. And then the missile launcher, which is hilarious.
You take the missile launcher. You
I
take
mean,
it.
You can't. It's spendy. 35 points is spendy.
Sure, a 2-wound heavy infantry missile launcher with a light shotgun and breaker pistols.
Oh, yeah. No, the light shotgun's hilarious, too. So now we get into their weird, interesting profiles. As if those other ones weren't interesting. They have attack awareness combi rifle, tin bot -6. That's awesome.
Which, by the way, Yujing has a lot of.
Yeah, there's a lot of
-6
tin bots.
Like that's wild.
Do they have any -3? I think it's all -6.
I think it's all -6.
Which is nuts, especially if you're like.
You might
against-
incidentally have two tin bot -6s in the same fire team.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like-
I mean, other factions are like, whoa, I can get a tin bot 6, and this is like, yeah, you've got that.
Military orders over here. I got Timbot -3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuching, I don't care.
And that's a humongous deal, especially when you're dealing with hacking, where you don't get many positive modifiers, if any. You get targeted and you get Trinity.
Yeah.
Right. You're also only paying 5 points for an extra order on your fire team
Yeah.
here.
Money.
And that's money. Forward observer, it's fine. It's 27 points. If you're going to take the combi rifle, take the forward observer instead. Because it's a specialist. Then you have a heavy machine gun with regeneration at 36 points. Which is hilarious.
Regeneration on Fizz 12, though.
That's fine.
Eh.
Your opponent has to do the mental math in their head that
Yeah.
most of the time it's coming back.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when it happens, it's happy for you, and your opponent has to expect that it should happen.
Right. I wouldn't roll it when they have 1 wound, because then you might
Right.
accidentally dome your dude.
Yeah.
But
When it's
When
just a
you're-
corpse on the ground, just
yeah, I mean, when you're waiting for your turn to come up too, yeah, sure. Like it's an order, you don't have to spend doctoring it.
Yeah.
on
And-
your opponent's turn, if they drop him down to unconscious, they have to think, do I spend another order shooting him?
Yep.
Because if I don't, there's a heavy machine gun in the midfield or wherever,
Yep.
gonna do its thing again. Paramedic, also compelling.
Yes.
Uh,
Something worth mentioning is that you're probably doing the +1 burst paramedic thing, and BS-13 is a big deal for landing both of those darts.
and
It's-
you're a heavy infantry army, Fizz 12 to 14 is what you're looking at here.
right,
Yep.
it's better than your doctor anyway.
Yep.
If you want to run a Shangji pain train,
You probably want.
you probably want at least a Zooyoung paramedic and the Hideout killer hacker. If you're not bringing a Shangji hacker in that fire team.
Then we have the Zooyoung tack awareness heavy machine gun for 37 points. Money. I mean,
Yeah.
Because you needed more tack awareness HMGs, but that's
it's
a whole
it's
other
ridiculous what you can do in this army. Zooyoung lieutenant with combi rifle. This is a dud for me.
Correct.
I do not care
I
about
agree.
this profile.
Mhm.
It's 0 Swick, which I guess is nice, but whatever.
I think the
Zooyoung lieutenant regeneration profile,
that's more
while
interesting.
not what I really want, is compelling.
It's one
hilarious.
Swick.
It's only 1 Swick. You get a discount. It's cute. I don't think it's a great choice.
I can't think of a time where I want to use that lieutenant order on the Zooyoung.
This might be better in vanilla.
Yeah.
It also
Because you
If
have
you're gonna
access
take-
to some chain of command in vanilla
you have Laegong.
and
take Laegong.
Adel.
Right. And yeah, but like
Ideal.
also you have a reason to be spending lieutenant orders on
And
your
Haidao
lieutenant
and
in a fire
Taisheng.
team.
So
Yeah.
like, You could take a chain of command and do. It's not that compelling, but it is interesting. They also have the special Fireteam Harris, I guess, a Zooyoung and 2 Yanhao FTOs.
Which that's so.
We'll get to that right now because Yanhao are next.
All right, let's go over those profiles then.
Yeah, so these guys are weird.
This whole thing is a mindfuck.
Yeah.
Bioimmunity, baby.
So CC 18 somehow. Don't ask. How they're better than Zooyoung at close
Because
combat.
they've got their hands free. They've got shoulder guns.
But they only have one pistol.
That's fine. They use 2 hands.
They use their burst for other things. That's acceptable.
I guess, yeah, that's another thing. That this +1 burst breaker pistol is hilarious in close combat as well.
Yeah.
If you get there.
Right.
You can kind of pick on some things if it happens. I don't recommend it, but it is funny.
It's a tool. Go active turn fight that bear pug.
Please no.
It's the best choice.
Okay, moving on. BS 14, which is pretty money.
Yep.
Fizz 13, Whip 13, Armor 5, BTS 3, 2 Wound, S5, AVA 4, because
Right.
you could take 200 points of them. Shock Immune, Bioimmunity, which is just...
Let's go!
I will say this is one of those scenarios though where bioimmunity, thankfully, is kind.
It's not that big a
It
deal.
makes sense because if you get hit with AP, it's the exact same. So
Yeah.
this helps you against K1 monofilament.
Right, and there's a lot to be said about how it probably shouldn't help against those weapons, especially
Oh, yeah.
monofilament, but
Oh, if you get hit with breaker, you can throw it on armor. and
Yes, you
just
can.
Cackle.
yes.
So
Which is obnoxious. The hacking... Bioimmunity doesn't work against hacking, right?
correct. Anything that's con
There you go.
stats.
So it's helpful. It's not the most helpful thing in the world. It's not abusive like some other models,
Right.
but it is quite good. So they have an FTO option for 48 points with a heavy machine gun, 1.5 Swick. I don't recommend this one.
So what I'm getting out of this is that you have these FTO options that
Yeah.
if you were to make a Harris team, they are identical in performance to what the other guy could do on his own.
Right, and that's why I don't understand.
Because an active turn, you can have a burst 3 missile. Don't let these idiots tell you any differently.
Yeah, but the heavy
you
machine
run that
gun
FTO.
for the
you
low-
run
low
that
price.
No, you run that missile launcher FTO, and you
Did
make
you bring it in your
money
list?
on it.
So
I gotta
hold
go.
on. So what's the Harris team? You got your Zooyoung and you got your 2 Yanho.
No.
Are you taking 2 missiles?
No, I'm not taking 2 missiles. I'm not an idiot. I'm bringing.
That's the cheap option.
No, I'm bringing the fucking hideout engineer.
Not a paramedic?
No, because
Oh, 'cause you have the Zooyoung paramedic.
I'm bringing some
Okay,
cheaper wild card.
Can you wild card into a special fire team that specifically calls out?
I think you
numbers?
can.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I think, well...
Because this one's saying you need these 3 parts to make it.
But it's gonna be a
How
wild
does the
card means they can be
Crusade
part of
fire team-
any
it's not,
fire
and
team.
it's not up to. It is specifically 2 Yanho FTO and
You
1
might-
Zooyoung.
The
Yeah,
hideout can be part of any fire team. Any fire team.
But this one's a special fire team that calls out the ingredients.
Any fire team. You illiterate
no, I
child.
understand that.
Jonathaniel.
Bruce the Thin.
You're wrong.
You know what's interesting? So going to military orders, which I know is everyone's favorite.
Hiss boo. Actually, really
Special Fire Team Corps, Crusade Fire Team, Joan of Arc, any version, and up to 4 Knights Hospitalers, and those wildcard troopers allowed.
But this does not say that.
And then it even has an example because no one knows how to do the Crusade Fire Team.
Oh, eat shit, Bruce.
Doesn't mean I'm. It doesn't mean I'm not.
I
wrong.
haven't proved him wrong.
Yeah.
But
But there's a precedent.
There's a in
me
military
being
orders.
right.
Who gives a fuck? This is Yu Ching, so they're immediately better, right? This
Moving
is a
on.
better version of military orders.
the HRMC is an option for the same exact costs as the heavy machine gun.
Yes.
Just take the HRMC.
yeah.
Which is actually really sick, by the way. You can
So
have a
sick.
pronable HRMC at ARM 5, BS 14.
Oh, they're bros.
Yeah. No, they're disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting.
They're not an FTO option, and that makes me sad.
Thank God.
Burst 6.
Yeah.
Wait.
We have a missile launcher +1 burst FTO option.
You bring that burst 3 and you kill a Yodoms in one shot.
You know what? I actually do understand the appeal of a burst active turn missile.
Yeah, no, I
How
do.
get that.
disgusting would that be? Oh, you have your ARO missile up? let's boogie.
And then let's assume I was right about the Fireteam comp. You take 2 of those because that's the cheap option. And then in reactive turn, you have 4 missiles at BS-14
Oh my god, no.
blasting shit. So
But what's probably a better idea is the next profile, which is a +1 burst missile, Neurocynetics.
Which, that's true.
It's the boring safe option.
It's also a burst 3 heavy pistol and arrow.
That's also true.
Yeah, I've eaten that, and it sucked.
So
The pistol?
I was trying to, I was playing against Ian, and I had my bounty hunter memeing up on a Yonho to get him in combat, and he was like, Neurocynetics pistol, and I was like, beans.
Because it's... Oh, that's disgusting.
yeah, so don't forget about that. You're not as
I did.
hopeless. I know you did. And then there's 2 lieutenant options, heavy machine gun, HRMC. I do not recommend the
Yeah,
lieutenant
don't
options.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
Vanilla HRMC. Don't take the multi-heavy machine gun. Why would you ever do that? They're the same price.
Yeah, I don't know why that's
And
even
it's
an option.
strictly worse. No, the arrow.
The
with
arrow
explosive
is slightly better
is
on a
better.
multi-HMG.
But that means you're already doing so many wrong things.
Yeah, you're not in suppressive fire. You're arrowing at burst 1.
And you're
Just
arrowing,
stop
and
it.
You've left your lieutenant up there.
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah.
I'm not smart, man.
The Neurocynetics +1 burst missile for me is the standout profile here.
Yes.
You're not wrong.
And especially in vanilla, where you don't have defensive fire team options, this guy's just a dick.
Yep.
Yep.
It is a pain in the dick.
But the
to shit.
HRMC is also very compelling
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
because BS-14, 5 dice, hits like a truck.
The only
Yeah.
thing that makes me sour on the HRMC is that you have the Shangji.
Sure.
That's core Fireteam ball, and obviously it's not the same thing.
But we will get to that.
Right. But yes.
There's a place for it.
Yes, absolutely.
I think the +1 burst Neurocynetics missile is the more like, that's what you kind of look towards with
Right.
this profile. Though.
Especially if you're doing something wild with your core Fireteam.
Right.
This guy is an attack vector on his own.
He's pretty cool. All right, Bruce just ran away. He can't handle the hack Tau.
All right, quick. How many roasts of Bruce can we get in?
Probably a lot.
The way he plays Invincible makes you reconsider the name.
Army is a generous term for when he plays Invincible Army.
I can't wait to buy this shit from him when he puts it on eBay.
Oh, that's a good one. And repaint it, right?
Yeah, you know
Because
it.
he did such a shitty job painting
Oh,
his
of course.
Yu Ching.
Yes.
The balls on this man to paint yellow. He's ugly.
Oh, yeah. But he's got those beard baubles.
Those are pretty good.
Those are good. He's got little decorations for his beard now.
Yeah, his grandma got them for him.
Yeah.
talking about hack towels?
No, we're talking about you.
We're talking about you.
Bruce host so we can get in while you were in the bathroom.
All right, what are we talking about?
Talking about the hack Tau. Bruce disappeared, came back with beer, which is basically what the hack Tau
Very
does.
fair. I take back everything I just said about him.
So the hack Tau is a better Swiss guard.
Yep.
Ooh, somewhere. Someone on the forums just actually exploded.
And this is from the Pano player, who has won more games with the Swiss guard than any other model in his army.
What makes him better in your opinion?
Okay, we'll get into that. So, CC-19.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'2" move. That's already way better than the Swiss guard.
Yep.
BS-14, Fizz 14, Whip 14, Arm 5, BTS 6, 2 wounds. He's Surprise Attack 3, Camo, Hidden Deploy, Dodge +1 inch, because why not? Mim 6, Stealth, Shock Immune.
Yep.
So, he has 4 profiles. All of them pretty good. He has a heavy machine gun Nano Pulsar. I would never take this profile
Yeah.
because there's a strictly better one.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
and it's in
Okay.
vanilla too, which is wild to me.
So there are
see it.
2 heavy machine gun profiles.
For the same price.
2 points.
Yeah, same price.
And the 65.1 has NCO.
You take the NCO
You take the
option.
NCO heavy machine gun. You have 2 lieutenant orders. What's not to like? So the other profiles are also quite good. We'll talk about this guy a little bit more, but let's just cover the other profiles. You have the hidden missile. You have a 60-point missile launcher. Very nice.
Which is a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yes. So in arrow, disgusting. In active turn, I don't love it. It's burst 1. You can stack a lot of mods on somebody, but it's burst 1. It's inefficient.
Yeah. Agree. You have, if you want to like kill a tag or something like that, you have a better option.
Yeah, the odds of you just flubbing
Are high.
are high enough that, And then you have a hacker with hacking device, multi-rifle Nano Pulsar.
Yeah.
It's an interesting profile.
That's the only Hacktow sculpt that is still in production.
I know, and I don't like the hacker that much. It's fine, but...
So if any of you guys out there have a Hacktow HMG that you don't want,
Carl will buy it.
No, let Bruce know first.
Okay, but so Monstrous Makings has each faction's weapons that you can buy 3D prints of.
Yeah, but I don't want the hacker visor.
Oh,
on my...
You don't like that thing? That thing's dope.
I want that on my hacker, not on my...
I'm with Carl on this.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So the reasons why this is better than a Swiss Guard.
Is it the NCO?
It's the NCO, it's the 6.2 move, it's the Nano Pulsar.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't like the light shotgun?
The missile has a light shotgun, the HMG does not.
Oh, for the Swiss Guard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then, no, fair.
The 6.2 move is a really big deal, though.
It's huge.
Because you want to be... If you're using this model right, every single order you're spending, you are moving with your first move and then annihilating something of your opponent's.
Yeah.
And being able to get an extra 2 inches out of it can have you kill more things with the same number of orders.
That's a good point.
And looking at the Swiss Guard profiles side by side with the Hacktow,
it's not even funny. It's kind of funny.
Just broken everything. So, let's say the missile, right? It's 60 points for the missile versus 63 points for the Swiss Guard missile. What you're getting is an extra point of ballistic skill. You're getting worse movement, worse close combat, a worse close combat weapon, I might add.
Yeah, but
just to throw that one out there.
That Swiss Guard looks dope.
Oh, that's
the missile?
really bad.
No. Oh, yeah, no. I just painted that guy.
He's awful.
Okay, CC-19 double action close combat weapon means that you actually have a chance of using him for...
You could surprise attack somebody. You could blow up an objective.
Yep.
Honestly, him surprise attacking a tag, maybe you could conceivably do it, and then your opponent has their tag locked in close combat with something that is competent.
Right. And
you shouldn't do this.
But hold on, if you're trying to shoot the tag out of combat, though, you are at -12 already.
Right.
So...
It's nasty.
Okay.
So he does the things that the Swiss Guard does badly, he just does better.
Right.
Like better CC, better close combat weapon. He has dodge plus 1 inch, which...
That's helpful.
Just the Swiss Guard doesn't have that, or
Right.
an equivalent of that. So you're paying more points for the Swiss Guard to have one better ballistic skill.
Yeah, you know what? Okay.
Also, the hacker has worse whip.
Yeah.
I will say at least the hacker is more expensive for the Hacktow by a single point.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But he also still has a Nano Pulsar.
And you know what? BS-14 multi-rifle, if you have a hacker, it means you're probably being aggressive with him.
Right.
Which is a huge deal.
So,
I mean, coming around the corner, you have a template, a multi-rifle, all good at the same range, or hacking.
If they shoot back, you can Nano Pulsar them.
Yep.
If they dodge, you can hack them.
Yep.
There's no good option against him.
So the Hacktow does it better than the Swiss Guard. And then the NCO option has NCO. So 65 points for the heavy machine gun. You're paying 3 more points than the Swiss Guard. You gain the 2 lieutenant orders that you're guaranteed to have donated to the Swiss Guard. The discount Swiss Guard. He's just better, honestly.
You're not wrong.
And take that to heart. The Swiss Guard is really good.
Yeah.
This isn't like the Swiss Guard is bad and needs
it's
a
just
buff.
the Hacktow is better.
Yeah,
The Hacktow is just better, and keep that in your brains.
All right, what's next?
Let's talk about the Hacktow some more. I like the Hacktow.
I had to fight a hacker one recently, and it was miserable.
All right, Shangji.
Ooh. So, just as a brief aside, I was reading the Fluff book on a flight recently, and they said that the Shangji pattern of armor is meant to replace the Zooyoung pattern.
Yep.
And yeah,
It shows.
Spoiler alert! It's what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And it's mostly going to White Banner, right? Because they're doing the most badass stuff, and
guess.
Pretty much.
and they're getting all the best equipment.
Yep.
Because they're actually competent at their jobs or something.
They defended against Pano way better than they expected.
Than they should have.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh wow, you guys are kind of badasses."
Wow, you guys actually know how to fight.
Yeah, and now they're like the poster boys. I think for anyway.
So Shangji are really cool. 6'2" move, CC 19. These CC stats, like, they're not good for going out and murdering things in CC, but they are a decent enough deterrent.
They'll defend you.
It may keep you alive an extra order or two.
If a warband runs into you, you can at least defend yourself.
Right. BS 13, Fizz 14, Whip 13, Arm 4, BTS 6, 2 wounds. They have shock just on their guns. Just cause. Dodge plus 2 inch, which is pretty sweet on their Fizz 14. Fireteam Core, Duo, Harris. Shock immune, number 2. It's just a running theme. You cannot break in Invincible Army Fireteam very easily. And of course, terrain total, which is relevant.
Which means on some missions they're 7-2.
Right.
Oh, so great.
They're even faster.
So let's go through their profiles. Multi-rifle chain Colt gets you 36 points. A little spendy.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get what you pay for with these guys.
These are a model that you don't really want to take the low-end version of. So,
Agreed.
Similar, you can pay 2 points and get a tin bot. Not impressed. It's okay. HMG, tin bot firewall -6 for 44 points and 1.5 swig.
Nah.
It would be good if
Yes.
there wasn't a strictly better profile that randomly has the best heavy machine gun in the army.
Correct.
Just laying around.
Yeah, there's a whole lot that just happens. There's a whole lot that happens in 5 points.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And it's worth it.
There's a hacker. This is okay.
Yeah.
I like the sculpt, but...
The sculpt is sweet. It is a BTS 6 hacker in a fire team with firewall -6.
Right.
Almost guaranteed to have. So, I mean, that's at least a thing. There's a forward observer attack awareness profile with multi-rifle chain Colt flash pulse pistol.
I think
40
that's the
points.
only time you want to take the multi-rifle.
Yes, agree. You get specialist. Flash pulse is not bad. Chain Colts are hilarious. Come around a corner. Fire team bonus. Chain Colt something to death.
Yeah. Funny that they have shock CC weapons.
They do all have shock CC weapons. So these guys are worse in close combat than Zooyoungs.
Ooh.
Breaker pistol +1 burst, baby. Now we get to the money. The money shot. The profile that everyone loves.
The heavy rocket launcher.
No. Attack awareness, AP heavy machine gun, tin bot -6, 49 points. What?
Take it.
All praise Shang Jesus.
Yeah, so if you ever hear someone talk about Shangji,
They're talking about this profile.
This is the profile because you get everything you want in one package.
This is a fever dream.
Yes.
If I could pay 5 points to upgrade my orc in Pano to have attack awareness and AP, even an AP pistol, because AP is just non-existent in armies.
And a Timbot firewall.
I know. The one you want. Like,
It's really good.
it's really good.
If you want to be running a pain train fire team, this is the guy.
He's in it. This model in a pain train fire team is auto include.
Correct.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
You have a paramedic. He's okay. I think the Zooyoung paramedic does it cheaper.
Yep.
Right.
Another really cool profile. Attack awareness, heavy rocket launcher, light shotgun.
Yeah.
38 points, 1.5 swig. Hey, attack awareness is great. Heavy rocket launcher is slap.
Yep.
I have run all of the Shangji attack awareness. I've done the, 15 order
In one fire
order
team.
group. Like, the attack awareness just really, really helps, and having that template along with a light shotgun in there, just like for no reason. Okay, sure.
Like if you do need to engage something within 8, that light shotgun is pretty great.
Yeah.
I won't say no.
And then you got 2 lieutenant options.
I would not take these.
I'm not impressed with lieutenant options. Multi-rifle chain Colt for 36 points. Okay. The heavy machine gun is more compelling at 44 points and 1 swick, but
It's still eclipsed by Shang Jesus.
that's the thing. I don't know how you find 5 points.
Because that attack awareness order is so much more useful.
And AP.
Yeah.
Right.
AP heavy machine guns are good against almost every target in the game.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if you're fighting against something total immune, it's still an HMG.
Right.
And and then in that case, you have an extra order to function in a fire team.
Yep.
And like, did we mention these guys are wild cards? Just
No,
because.
no, it's
Got there,
stupid.
but yeah.
It's stupid.
Disgusting.
You could throw Shangji's just in a core team of Zooyoungs or
Zanche.
Sorry, thank you.
Just like, fuck it. Have a heavy rocket launcher in your fire team.
Right.
Why? I don't know.
This profile was why I was not the biggest on the HRMC, was just because you can get a Shangji fire team and the Burst 5
BS16.
and BS16 and all this crap.
Yeah, they're really good. The models are sick. I can't wait to paint mine.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Very compelling. Even attack awareness heavy machine gun is a solo piece.
Sure.
Not bad. Not bad. We overlook that in sectorials often,
Totally.
but
Yes.
he can just go off on his own.
Yeah.
And just go murder.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, next up, Haidao. These guys are weird, but they're really useful.
These guys are by far, I think, a unit that makes fire teams work.
So CC18, again, the trend of decent CC. You're not excited, but you're not going to get just bodied. BS13, Phys 11, Whip 13, Arm 3, BTS 0, 1 wound, NWI, Shock Immune, Courage. Courage is kind of rare in this army.
Terrain 0G.
Woo!
That mattered last ITS.
Doesn't matter this one.
It'll matter in like 2025.
Hey, if we're still playing, we're still alive.
If we're still alive. Okay, yeah.
So there's a lot of weird profiles here. So Combi Rifle D-Charge for 21 points. Also, they all have breaker pistols.
Yep.
And CC weapons, by the way. Just because, whatever.
Just 'cause.
Right.
The D-Charges are very interesting. I think there's a better profile for this, but
We'll get to that.
21 points is not bad for
Right.
a 2-wound.
It's cheaper than a Zooyoung.
It is cheaper than a Zooyoung. Also, wild cards.
Yep.
Red Fury,
Don't.
it's okay, but this is not your active turn murder machine. It's just not durable enough or good enough. It's okay.
Also, too, you have things that you'd rather be spending Swick on.
Exactly. It is only one Swick, which is kind of nice.
Oh,
But
that's interesting.
Red Furies are very mediocre. It might be more compelling in a weird Harris, but
I could see it, but But it's a lot of points you don't have.
Yep,
Being
agree.
spent on a mission that's kind of pointless.
Yep.
Compared to what you could do.
24 points gets you a boarding shotgun, killer hacker.
Boom.
Not
Cool.
bad. BTS 0.
Money.
Got to be careful with them, but you're going to have a tin bot, -6.
Right.
A killer hacker and a boarding shotgun answers a lot of questions. For 24 points.
I mean, hey, worth mentioning, he's a wild card. There's a very good chance he'll have a tin bot in the fire team.
Exactly.
somewhere,
He'll have the tin bot. He'll have, engineer with deactivator. Combi rifle D-charges gizmo kit 25 points. I like this profile a lot.
Me too.
Having a 25-point engineer to fix up your isolated and immobilized heavy infantry and complete objectives, and not a bad fighter too. I think he's good. I think the star of the show is the next one. MSV2, multi-sniper, 33
Yep.
points. He's really good.
Yes.
He can be your fire team arrow.
Yep. Sticking with 4 Zanche.
Having been on the wrong end of this before, it's very frustrating to get through. I fucking hate fighting a hideout on the speed.
Get better. Play
I
better.
beat you that game.
Did you?
Yeah, I walked my evader out and I did that YOLO Panzerfaust. at
Oh, I'm
first
thinking of the
point.
game where you played TAC.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm talking about... Yeah, I'm talking about that Paradiso game where I was like, fuck it, and then I think I crit.
Oh, yeah, that made me sad.
Yeah.
I forgot about that game. I got slaughtered that game.
Yeah, he's really good. He's a little spendy though. 33 points.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any vision mods of his own. He is not the Kamau multi-sniper.
No, but you know what? For the fact that he's got 2 wounds.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's armed 3.
I've said this about the Kamau sniper rifle. He's great until he takes a single hit.
Right.
And then often he's done.
This guy can take a couple.
Yep. And he's got courage, which is relevant in that
Sure is.
profile.
Then to what, Chain of Command?
And then chain of command, 26 points. Combi rifle D charges. It's fine. Cheap chain of command.
Yes.
Take what I can get.
I don't think this is a super compelling option, but list and mission may dictate that it's a good choice.
Yeah.
All right, now we have Mario, the Lu Jing jump infantry. They exist to Goomba Stomp, and they love it.
Oh, they do.
They are 6'2" moves somehow. Don't ask.
They're heavy infantry.
Very few parachutists have that.
Hey, but here we are.
But they're heavy infantry.
In the last edition,
yeah.
most of them had 4'2", because most of them were medium infantry.
Yikes.
So,
But yeah.
so 6'2", CC 20, BS 13, Fizz 13, Whip 13, Arm 3, BTS 3. Courage, they better be courageous. These guys are lunatics. Dodge plus 2-inch, shock immune, combat jump explosion. If you don't know what that rule is,
Play me and I'll teach you.
basically they Goomba Stomp. When they come in through combat jump, they put a pie plate down, and it's not high damage.
That is a small pie.
Well, it's damage 12, but the fact that it ignores cover means that it's hitting like a heavy machine gun.
Right.
You know.
And also, too, this is a great way to like, oh, there's a fire team up on the... There's a
come out
Fusilier
sniper.
fire team.
Right.
Boom, I Goomba Stomp you. Oh, you all dodge? Okay, cool. Now
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
dude with a boarding shotgun. Just
Some lieutenant.
hanging.
Yeah. This is your, I want to kill their lieutenant. I want to kill their 5-man core Fusilier fire team. I want to land safely here because they're going to have to dodge.
Right. They should dodge.
And even if they don't, I got 2 wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So, couple options here. 32 points gets you a boarding shotgun. I think there's a better boarding shotgun.
Yep.
38 points gets you a Spitfire, which is hilarious. But I don't like spending the Swick here.
I agree.
I mean, for a BS-13 parachutist,
Oh, it's
I get it. But yeah, you want a Goomba Stomp, so you want a shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this guy's getting in the thick of it. Spitfire,
it's got that range band.
It
That,
sounds like you're doing sane people things. That's not why you're buying this guy.
That's true. That's true.
oh, that's what, like combat jump Fizz 14. If
Yeah.
I didn't mention. It's pretty great. Specialist operative multi-rifle decharge, compelling. This guy
The
can,
decharges.
Yeah,
he can complete objectives, push buttons.
right. This
Also,
guy,
CC 20 with decharges.
that means you can't miss, which is
You can't
huge.
miss, which is a big deal.
CC 19, and you're like,
5% chance that I flubbed this roll.
5% chance is more like 40% chance in my experience. Once you point out there's only one number you can't roll,
Yeah.
you'll roll it.
And then 37 points gets you a hacker with a boarding shotgun.
That's
I
an
love
insane
that profile. The funniest thing about him, Goomba Stomp in, land, everyone dodges like a coward, and then you're just a hacker.
Yeah,
So if you don't even spend any more orders, like you can hack things, you can boarding shotgun things, like
yeah,
anything that's trying to come around to help. And if it's a heavy infantry, you're like, oh, that's neat. Boop,
yep.
turn off. Oh, you try to use your fire team against me? I'm gonna boarding shotgun you.
And you know what? He dodges 4 inches too. So
He
he's
sure
a,
does.
He's a fast boy. When
4 inches, and then he's in your face with CC 20, threatening D charges.
yep.
And he has a shot close combat weapon too,
Yep.
because why
Yeah.
not?
You know what? Good for killing your
Against his targets that he wants to kill?
Right. Yeah. No. It's just like, hey, your lieutenant's gone.
Like,
I was so annoyed when your interventor passed its armor save.
Yeah. So Bruce and I played. I was doing vanilla nomads. He was doing 4 losings. I think 1 or 2 of them fucked up their jumps.
One.
One fucked up their jump. The other 3 jumped into a nomad hacker network. And my interventor lieutenant tanked the armor save, which was great because I did not do the dodge. Too great. And then all of his dudes fell into my repeater range and they all got stoned and turned off.
Yeah, but whatever. They did their job. They sowed fear for 2 seconds.
Oh, for longer than that. Your whole turn, I was like, oh god.
All right, what's next? Because I feel like we've talked about these guys enough now.
Yeah.
I
would say 1 or maybe 2 if you were really feeling spicy. But probably 1.
how many did I take? We'll find out.
Okay.
I don't remember how many I took. I like them. It's hard to find the points for them.
Well, that's
It's a common trend in this army, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
Everything is spendy. So there's all these cool options like Hack Tau that are amazing. They're not going to go in every list. You just don't have the points.
No.
Right.
Speaking of awesome, thick boy energy, the Mo Wang.
Oh, yeah. Mo Wang, Mo problems.
This guy I love. CC 17, BS 13, Fizz 14, Whip 13, Arm 5, BTS 6, 2 wounds. S5, he's a thick boy. Courage, Fireteam Duo, whatever. Shock immune, Mimetism -3, Stealth, NWI, Terrain total. I love him.
And I feel like there is one profile that stands out the most.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to go over every profile.
We don't. There's a lot of repetition.
Basically, you can get a multi-rifle Flamin' Spear, a Red Fury Acrolite Cannon, or a Spitfire Flamin' Spear, and they're all almost the same points cost. And the SWIC goes up as you go through that list.
And you get like a choice between Lieutenant, NCO, or
nothing.
Normal.
And the option, you take NCO.
NCO Spitfire.
Yeah.
NCO Spitfire is the clear winner here. It has a better alternate weapon. Flamin' Spears are better than Acrolite Cannons. Acrolite Cannons aren't bad, but Flamin' Spears having a template is a big enough deal.
Yep.
A deterrent against fire teams abusing him.
Yep. It's a mini
And
tag.
a Spitfire is a much better weapon than a Red Fury.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an active turn piece. You're going to be spending your NCO orders on him.
Yep.
Like, he's great. He can bully. He can get in the midfield, go into suppressive fire. He's Mim 3, basically Mim 6 with the suppressing fire.
I mean, worth mentioning is that Arm 5, 2 wounds, no wounding cap means he's a mini tag.
Yes.
That's what you're looking at.
And he's under 50 points.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
And he can prone.
This is what the Blackjack should be. Anyway.
Yes.
For tag pack, the fact that this guy exists as a heavy infantry and then Ariadna has it.
This is what the Boig should be, too.
Yeah, boy.
We'll get to him someday, but
Boyd makes me sad.
when you compare...
Make me sad.
are we just going to,
it's my
hate
pants.
on Pano today? I'm
No,
here
I like
for
Pano. They're pretty.
Meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, Witcher 4. I'm still like... You know, the reason I got into Pano was because I was shitting on Pano so much that I was going through Army making fun of all the heavy infantry not having courage and having whip 12. And then as I was
You
looking
memed
to
yourself.
dunk on Pano units for being cowards, I was like, this army's pretty cool.
All right, so here's the sad truth. Boigs are 46 points for either option.
They should not be.
That's so gross because 47 gets you the Spitfire mowing NCO.
And it's so much better.
And you're going to go to fucking Mark 12?
Mark 12,
Mark 12
plus
or
one
a
burst,
missile.
Or a missile
Oh
plus
my
one burst.
God.
If the Boig missile had neurokinetics or total reaction, that would be interesting.
Hey, you know what's funny is that, they both have heavy pistols, but the Boig has a shot close combat weapon,
Ooh.
which doesn't matter.
Wait, no, the Boig has a burst 3 heavy pistol.
It does. But my bigger point is that the Boig has a shot close combat weapon, which is literally useless.
What's his fizz?
His fizz is 13. Heavy pistols are damage 14.
No, that's what
Shock.
Yeah, no, holy shit.
That sucks. That's not
They
great.
literally gave the
my
Boig a
God.
weapon that it has no benefit to him. They probably charged him for it too.
I guess if you really
What, John?
want them to survive.
No, it's still a shot close combat weapon.
No, but you want the damage to be lower so they tank the armor.
Then why aren't you dodging?
To play devil's advocate, shut the fuck up, Justin.
They dodge +3. If you want to do that, I guess you know what? Boigs are CC 19. And Boigs are CC 17.
Here,
Boig!
That shot close combat
There
weapon
is-
coming in clutch.
There is a use case. It just almost doesn't exist.
The NCO Spitfire is money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. The others are okay.
I don't know why you would take him unless you want to take Max AVA Mo Wang.
I can see the Red Fury if you don't have the extra half swick.
Sure.
I could see it.
Sure.
But-
You're wrong.
You are wrong. I don't rate the lieutenants very well.
No,
Yeah, really.
no. Especially when you have NCO.
Exactly. Although one swick Spitfire.
No.
All right. Hulang. Shock troopers.
I love this sculpt. I think they are so neat.
These are your CC guys.
Yeah.
CC 22, martial arts level 2. So they are actually competent at close combat. BS 12, Fizz 12, Whip 13, Arm 3, BTS 3. Dodge plus 2 inch, Courage, Shock Immune, Mimetism -6, Specialist Operative, Stealth, NWI.
Yep.
Gross. Everything I just said was gross. It gets grosser.
So, let's go over the profiles first.
Well, then you can go through the profiles.
I think that the Fireteam duo profiles are very, very interesting in Invincible Army, and then the forward deployment ones are more compelling in vanilla. And I'll get into that because having one of these guys in your core Fireteam makes your opponent have to think, where it's like, oh shit, like if I have to deal with some guy who's actually kind of competent in martial arts, if I don't have Natural Born Warrior, if I don't have Berserk or whatever, I'm going to have to be facing somebody who will put me on bad dice rolls.
Yeah, so let's go over their equipment. So they have 2 forward deploying guys. One has combi rifle, light flamethrower, EM grenades, decharges. They all have pistol, monofilament, close combat weapon. He comes in at 41 points, forward deployment plus 8 inches. He can solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, and then there's the forward deployment mine layer who has crazy quals.
And submachine gun plus 1 burst, and EM grenades, and decharges. Also a problem solver.
Problem maker.
EM grenades are something that can really, really fix a problem.
Yeah.
You know, anytime there's a hackable, like a heavy infantry or a tag in suppressive fire in the midfield, even if you spec fire an EM grenade at them.
Hey, even if it's not hackable.
That's true.
When you land, they're isolated.
But at least they stay in suppressive fire.
That's fair, but they might want to dodge it.
Right.
If they're isolated,
it's bad.
They're effectively dead for the turn.
But I think on a tag it's even worse, right? Tag and heavy infantry because they're isolated, immobilized.
And remotes, yeah. I mean, I think remotes would actually have the most to lose from this. And then tags. No, tags definitely first.
Tags, even heavy infantry are the same too. The thing is, like, even like a Mendoza, right? Like, he doesn't really want to have this happen to him.
No.
So, pretty cool. And then, there's the FTO options. The first one is submachine gun plus 1 burst, EM grenades, decharges for 36 points. I think that's a bargain.
Yep.
Yeah.
That profile screams submachine guns are undercosted.
Correct.
This is one of those dudes that can come around a corner and engage you, and you have like no good option.
Right.
You eat a CC 22 decharge or monofilament, or you eat a burst 4
submachine gun, or maybe even an EM grenade.
Yeah, like it's rough.
And then the fourth option, I'm not in love with this one. Multi-rifle, light flamethrower, decharge. It's just 39 points. It's more expensive than the submachine gun, and the submachine gun has AP on its... It's a multi-weapon anyways, basically.
I think you're trading, the EM grenades for the flamethrower.
And I think EM grenades are more interesting.
And also, too, depending on what your Fireteam composition is, you are going to have a...
You're going to have a boarding shotgun or a Nano Pulsar.
Or a chain Colt, which fills a very similar role.
Yeah. So I don't rate the multi-rifle that highly. But, man, that submachine gun Fireteam option, it's gross. It's really gross. The models are sick. I need to order one.
I think there's only one.
I know. There is.
Okay. It's sick. I like it.
Zanche. These guys are auto-consider, I would say. Not necessarily auto-include because exclusion zones exist and missions are a thing, but these guys are sick.
If you need to get an idea of how Invincible Army works, you look at Zanche and you say, even their skirmishers are heavy infantry.
Yeah, this guy, they could have put him in the skirmisher section.
But he's not.
But he's not, because he's just a thick boy heavy infantry.
Oh, yeah.
BS 12, Fizz 13, Whip 13, Arm 3, BTS 3, 1 wound, NWI, shock immune. Infiltration, camo, surprise attack -3, mim 3, stealth, terrain, total, climbing plus.
Oh, climbing plus.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
I've never used that, but I
And
need
then
to.
all 3 profiles are good.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a 37-point forward observer boarding shotgun decharge. Sick. Like, what's not to like? You have a 35-point submachine gun Panzerfaust shock mine forward observer. Sick. What's not to like? And then a 41-point hacker with boarding shotgun and half swick.
Man, that one is cool. They're all cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
Boarding shotgun hacker, and the fact that he's going to start
in the
where you
midfield.
want him.
Prone on a roof. He can climb and get into weird places to do weird hacking attacks with climbing
Especially
plus.
because Invincibles don't have a good repeater network.
They really don't.
Right. So you got this guy to be...
He is your repeater network. And they're AVA 4.
Wow. Not that you can afford to take 4, but...
It's only 140 points to take 4.
Okay.
If you want the forward observer submachine gun Panzerfaust.
Okay.
Remember,
their Fizz is surprisingly good too.
Yeah.
Fizz 13 on this point costed model is pretty darn good.
I think they're just really phenomenal.
I'm looking at Zooyoung's, my bad.
Yeah, Zenches are Fizz 13, homie.
Yeah, I had the wrong profile.
They're BS 12.
Yeah, I pulled up Zooyoung's and had it backwards.
Mo Wings. They're talking about Mo Wings in chat. In Twitch chat.
Oh, no.
What are they saying? Are they being wrong?
They being wrong. We love our fans.
S5 Mo Wang.
Looking at the
Oh,
Mowing
yeah.
and Boying size side by side reminds me of looking at the Anaconda and a similar price
Honestly,
tag side by side.
That's actually a really good comparison.
Man, if you need a profile synonymous with disappointment, it's Anaconda, and that only gets more true every time anything releases.
And you start looking at the Trip Hammer and you're like, oh, baby.
They're like, look, this Jujak character, and you're like, but Anacondas, oh fuck.
How does this compare to an Anaconda? Ooh, it's way better.
Everything makes Anacondas look bad.
Fusilier. Man, I wish my Anaconda was a Fusilier.
Yeah, you're like, oh, but you know what? For like 10 points, BS 12.
I should just take 3 Fusiliers.
Yeah.
That's like one more wound than
the
the
Anaconda.
Anaconda.
Can make a Fireteam.
You can make a whole episode on how disappointing the Anaconda is. Dude,
We could. Ooh.
I don't know if I have it in my heart
April
to
1st?
spend like 3. I mean, we
Celebrating
already
Anaconda.
recorded our first mini episode a couple of weeks ago.
You know,
it was
if-
about 1:30 long.
Take this down under the content creation for Matt. We need to make a meme video on models that make the Anaconda feel bad.
It just loses every
Everything.
model. It's just every model except for a volunteer, I guess.
No, there has to be some USARF models that don't.
Minutemen that don't have like the HMG missile.
Wait, is this just like the meme where it's like people I would cheat on my girlfriend with? No one. And there's just a bunch of really weird characters.
Oh yeah, Matt's watching. He's godlike at meme videos. All right, this is in the works. This will come out sometime in the next 4 years.
4 more years.
Zanche are fantastic. You should.
You should get both sculpts.
Yes, you should. In a mission that supports what they're doing, you should consider 1 to 2.
Oh yeah, the thing is about skirmishers is that normally they're balanced by the fact that they're fragile.
Right.
And in this case, they're not.
This-
They're heavy fucking infantry.
Yeah.
I love the idea that he can just come around a corner and trade with an enemy skirmisher.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it? Oh,
Nothing.
normally you would just shotgun me in the face. I don't give a fuck. You're not gonna kill me.
Right.
Here's 2 templates for your trouble.
Yep.
And then you laugh and tank the armor save, and then go do it again.
And do it again.
Or plant
And
some
do
mines.
it.
Zanche
Do
are
it.
fantastic.
And do it again.
All right, Tai Shang, Zooyoung, Invincibles, NCO.
So I really like this sculpt.
I love
and
the sculpt.
I don't know. This is just a really pricey person for me. It does fill a different role.
Yeah, so she's like basically a Zooyoung when it comes to stats, right?
Better BS.
Yeah, except for BS. I think she's better CC too.
Better whip.
Yes, better whip.
So just the fizz.
She's
is
got
the
a-
same.
a little
Fizz,
bit
armor,
better.
BTS.
Stuff. She is an NCO. She is a forward observer. She does have dodge plus 2 inch, which is okay, whatever, fine. Courage, shock immune, 2 wounds. And she is a wild card. Yeah, so her 39-point profile is a breaker combi rifle, chain cult, flash pulse, oddly.
For a forward observer.
I guess she is a forward observer. Yeah, that's fair. Tinbot -6. It's okay. She trades her breaker pistol for the heavy pistol. Good call. You already have a breaker combi rifle. It's okay. It's nice. The NCO is nice. The 40-point option, you get a Mark 12 chain colt flash pulse heavy pistol. Kind of compelling.
This is the option I have used, and that's far more interesting.
Yeah, you don't. Mark 12s are nasty medium range weapons.
Throw them in a Harris. That's
Yeah.
more compelling for me. Will I take this model on the regular? No.
And then the other 2 options are basically the same, but with chain of command for a 4-point hike.
I don't want to pay.
I don't think you should pay 4 points for chain of command.
I don't want to pay over 40 points for a chain of command model.
Especially because now your chain of command model is more expensive than your lieutenant, which is always kind of a weird.
Unless you're running
That's my issue with
Kang
Zeds.
Gao.
Yeah,
He's a point more. But we'll get into that later. Yeah.
she's okay. The model's sweet. If you want to like another
Yeah.
alternative Zooyoung model, she's
Great model.
sick. I think she has a. Does she have the breaker combi rifle on her profile? On her
I
model?
think it's the Mark 12. Not
Is it?
positive.
We'll have to look.
Is it Mark 12?
Crit cock ram.
Crit is great.
He rams his
Yeah.
cock right into you.
Breaker.
3 profiles.
3 profiles. You have a. Well, let's talk about stats. 6'2",
Yeah.
CC 19, BS 13, Fizz 12, Whip 14, Arm 3, BTS 3. He has low BTS.
Yeah, he does.
True.
2 wound, dodge plus 2 inch. He has a gizmo kit and a deactivator. Someday I'll use a deactivator.
I've used them before.
I know you have.
It's good when you don't have faith in your ability to hit the mine.
And then break its armor.
Right. Yeah, you're like, ooh, that's 2 rolls. I don't think I'm gonna
armor
make.
0.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I just gotta make a whip check. All right.
And his whip is 14.
Which is pretty solid.
He is an engineer, and he does have NCO. He's great, honestly. He has a forward deploy plus 8 inches mine layer profile with heavy shotgun, emitter, EM mines, and deployable repeater, and he has heavy pistols plus 1 burst.
Which is good because he's got 3 pistols.
He does have 3 pistols.
So it should be plus 2 burst.
Should be, but
No, one of those is a chain colt.
Silence.
ooh,
They're different pistols. You can see them on the model.
Yeah, you can.
I painted them recently.
You can.
They are actually different.
They are. I don't want to agree with Carl, but they are.
There's like that meme. We should make that meme for crit. Like, happier than a person with 2 knives.
3 knives.
Gotta tell you, it's pretty awesome. This profile is cool. Being able to do a deployable repeater or EM mines with your mine layer
oh yeah,
is really nice, actually.
and I will say EM mines are
Gross.
scary.
They're gross.
Scary. Shock mines. You get somebody with a tag or heavy infantry, and they're like, whatever. They bully their way through. You tell them it's an EM mine, and that there's a very good chance that their dude is going to just get shut down.
Yeah,
for a very long time.
their Yotam's going to think a little bit harder about just waltzing into a minefield if one of them's an EM mine.
Nah,
Right.
I'll still be stupid.
Yeah, you roll that 1 to
Dodge on
reset.
6s. Yeah.
I got a 4. Excellent.
And then the FTO options, there's 2 of them, and they are wild cards. You get a multi-rifle plus 1 damage, chain colt decharge for 36 points. Pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one I've been leaning towards more recently when I've played.
A burst 4, damage 14 multi-rifle is not bad.
It's hitting like an AP Spitfire.
Yeah,
Yeah, and when this is just your engineer in your fire team,
that's pretty solid.
like,
He's almost an invader.
BS 13, like that's a decent gunfighter.
yeah, and he's NCO too, so he can help move your fire team around even when he's not fighting. You can
Right.
spend the orders on him to move the fire team up, and then your Shangji can start spending their attack awareness orders just murdering.
And for a heavy infantry focused faction, I think it's just worth saying that an engineer is almost
Necessary.
wired
Yeah.
because you don't want to be. You have the defenses to make it unlikely that bad things happen to you, but if you get shot off, you don't want to start making that whip roll. You don't have the orders for it.
And then additionally, you also need the specialist to complete objectives, and you need your
That's
fire team to drag a specialist up. And having decharges engineer opens up more classifieds
Yep.
than a generic specialist might. And then there's the Feuerbach Chain Colt decharge profile, which I also think is quite compelling.
I agree. I also think though, arrowing with this dude,
A Feuerbach is not a missile,
it's not a missile.
But man, it hits hard.
It hits hard. It's really good.
but it's also not a like a rocket launcher either.
Right.
I don't know if I want to be spending 42 points on using something on arrow duty.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's my real hang up.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I get that.
Especially not a template.
It's rough.
I know that sounds like a silly distinction, but
No, you're right though.
arrow templates are really annoying to deal with for other sectorials.
Right. Yeah, and you would need to be hitting a target with what, armor 6 to make up for
Yeah,
the lack of template
which is not ideal.
for the.
If that's what you're fighting, you're not super happy about doing it.
Right.
It is cool though. It's a cool option.
Yeah.
I think Crit Cockram he's not an auto include.
He's very cool though. He's a strong consider.
He's a auto consider. Yeah. You should always consider him if you're running that core fire team of thick boys. Which if you're not, why are you playing this army?
Right. I mean that's what the point is, right? So.
All right, our last heavy infantry, Captain King Gao, Invincible's officer.
I made it a point to make this guy viable. I'm not digging it.
So
there are some things that work, but man.
6-2 move, CC 17, BS 13, Fizz 12, Whip 14, Arm 4, BTS 6. BS attack plus 1 damage is nice. Dodge plus 1 inch is nice. Immunity to shock is whatever. He is a veteran, which is nice. He cannot be isolated, which is nice.
He's a wild card.
He is a wild card.
He's just not that great though.
My issue is that you just have internally better things.
Yeah, so the heavy machine gun for 45 points. I mean,
Why?
So
so you're a damage 16 machine gun, sure, but you could have taken a Shangji.
right,
AP
and
is better than +1 damage.
almost always.
Oh. Yeah, unless you're dealing with
Unless you're fighting chuds.
yeah, unless you're fighting a Chud or total immune.
Right. So here's the thing: is King Gao is 45 points. Attack awareness AP heavy machine gun Shangji is 49 points. You find the 4
Right,
points.
and even then it's got shock, so if you're fighting Chuds, you
Wait,
kill
wait,
the
wait,
Chud
wait.
with shock.
But you could take the 49-point lieutenant option with 2 lieutenant orders.
Ah.
No, you're an idiot if you do that.
No, my God, it's rough because
I've run it. I was an idiot when I did that. I want to make that abundantly clear.
So I think if Corvus Belli is listening, first off,
I'm sorry.
why is there a 4-point tax for this lieutenant in this army?
Seriously.
Like, you could have just made him 45 points, lieutenant +1 order, and I still don't think he would be very good.
Right, because like, what are you doing with him? You can't do.
Because the
internally.
DOW Ying is better, and you have NCO stapled on everything in this army that matters.
Yeah.
If there was a
You
cheap,
have NCO stapled on things that don't matter in this army.
Yeah.
Like,
if you had a cheaper chain of command option, maybe.
But even then, you got to use those lieutenant options for something, and like you're breaking him out of a fire team.
right, he can't fire team with it. Now, if he also had NCO,
Oh, in a heartbeat.
that
Yeah,
would be an
I'd
interesting change, because then he can spend his lieutenant orders on himself in the fire team,
Right.
which could be compelling.
Yes.
So it's like an Orcus kind of deal.
Yeah, like Norkius.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
I'd be here for that, and I think he would. Yeah, I think he deserves it. I mean, he's anyway. Whatever.
I also think his fizz is too low.
My ongoing joke is that he got demoted for not following orders, so he doesn't have an NCO option because everyone thinks it's a bad career move to listen to him. He gives an order, everyone's like, "Oh, really, fam? oh, shoot that guy? Nah,
So I should shoot the other guy.
nah, I'm gonna stay prone."
He's just a little overcosted, I think.
I agree.
Maybe if he was BS14.
Worth saying.
If he had an AP HMG,
Listen, if you're stoked on the dude, he's not bad.
he's not good.
He's just not the best thing you could take for your points.
I agree.
He's not bad. You're not
He
gonna
makes
be
for
like,
a great model for some
Oh,
other dude in your
so
army.
sick.
Yeah, you want like a Shangji with personality? Sure, use that guy.
Are you? Shangji sculpts are fire.
Fine, a Zooyoung machine gun.
Yeah.
Because he is basically a Zooyoung.
What's weird is he starts Defiance with a heavy shotgun.
I know. I wish he had a heavy shotgun profile here.
Yeah.
That'd be neat.
Which you'd think,
A
right?
+1
Because
damage heavy shotgun?
I
Excuse
would
me?
Fuck with that.
Like, that
Carlos.
especially if it was like 43 points or 42 points, like a little
Yeah.
bit less than a heavy machine gun, 0 swick. Just some dude that can come around a corner and be like, "What's up? Burst 3 heavy shotgun damage.
right.
Fuck off.
I'd be here for it.
Yeah.
AP, let's go."
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Oh well.
I mean, they've already changed one Defiance character. He might get a glow up too.
I hope so. And if you guys run
Because
it,
most of the
feel
Defiance
free to
characters,
cyberbully me online. And like, if you do well with him,
even if you don't run him, feel free to cyberbully Bruce online.
you can try.
So you know what I just realized?
No.
I was reading through how many things in this list are not heavy infantry versus how many are heavy infantry.
Yeah,
17 are not heavy infantry.
correct.
12 are heavy infantry. So it's almost 50-50 heavy infantry or not.
And some of those are a war correspondent.
Right. It's like a war corps. The biker that I shouldn't have counted. So it's
Right.
actually 16.
The Guija, which
Right, yeah.
Is that what we're getting to next?
that is what we're getting
Yeah.
to.
And then like all the remotes you get for everything. So
Generic remotes.
right.
All right, so the Guija's up next. This is almost a standard tag, but also he fights good.
And he has super jump.
And he has super jump. So
That
he
is
is 6'4", CC 22, BS 14, Fizz 16, Whip 13, Arm 8, BTS 6, Structure 3, Silhouette 7, ECM Guided -6, Martial Arts Level 2, which is amazing on a tag, by the way.
Oh yeah.
BS Attack +1 damage, Courage, Dodge at 11, Fireteam Duo, whatever. I mean, he can duo with an engineer.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
but an expensive engineer that could have wildcarded somewhere else.
correct.
It's not an evader.
Shock immune, tack awareness, super jump, gizmo kit, fizz 11. He comes with a multi-heavy machine gun, heavy flamethrower, and a DA close combat weapon. And he's 82 points. You can have him be your lieutenant as well for a half swick tax.
I think it's fine.
I
mean,
think it's more than fine.
yeah.
Pretty solid.
I think He spends a little bit of points to have his CC be better.
But you know what? One of the things you do to tags
Is you engage them with some
fight 'em,
10-point warband and
and
laugh.
this guy can slap your ass.
And you will die.
Yeah, I mean, so in that way, he's got a real advantage. And he's hitting at damage 17. Holy
Yes,
shit.
double action.
Yeah.
At CC 25.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unless they have their own martial arts or natural born warrior or
Right.
whatever, but... And then he's armor 8. So the odds of like some warband just like nuking him in one turn, pretty low.
Oh, right. I like the equipment. I think heavy flamethrower multi-HMG is one of the better
It's a very
loadouts.
standard loadout, but it's solid.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I mean, obviously he'd love to have a pistol, but
sure.
that's a luxury most tags don't get anyways. So
Right. I mean, and even then, in pistol ranges, I thought
The
some
option's
defend
nice.
against melee, and even then you could...
the pistol's nice to have though.
Right. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they
yeah.
can just dodge into you, which is not as powerful against him, but they can dodge a little bit with
Right.
impunity.
Yeah.
Because you're either heavy flamethrowing or heavy machine gunning at minus yes, or
Right.
flamethrowing. You're probably going to flamethrower. It's just fuck off, and
Yeah.
then they can dodge and get wherever they want to go. He's good. He's solid. Don't take 2 of them.
No.
He says before John took 2 of them.
No, I didn't do that.
Oh my god, if you duoed them, it'd be insane.
You could do with them.
Oh my god, yes! I don't know why you would do that.
But you can.
Important to note, their pilot is actually good at CC2.
Yes.
CC20 martial arts level 1 with a shot close combat weapon at Phys 11 is not terrible.
It's interesting because I see a lot of parallels there between this pilot and the Oyori pilot.
Yep. It's like they used to be in the same faction or something.
No, they didn't.
And the submachine gun is a good weapon.
Japan never existed in the State Empire.
It's just another sectorial of Pan-Am, let's just be honest.
Is no war in Ba Sing Se? What?
Yeah, there's Tiananmen Square. What?
Who? Oh, we just got
Oh,
canceled.
we lost those China bucks. Fuck.
Winnie the Pooh did nothing wrong.
Let's talk about some boring things.
Remotes, you got them.
We being Yao Kong Guardian remote. It's a 15-point forward observer. It is fine, like it is in every single other army.
Will you be taking these? Probably not.
But you can.
You know what? Sensor's a thing.
Yeah. And you know what? Being a really fast forward observer.
Yep.
That's true.
Places.
6'4" sensor is great.
It's not like you have an infiltrating heavy infantry forward observer.
Right, but if you didn't...
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just... it's that.
They're playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, just to be fair.
All right.
To be fair.
Husong Yao Kong, the escort remote. This is your TR bot. It's fine.
Yep. If you have this, I've run him and the Neurosynetics Yan Ho, just covering some fire lanes in like biotech war and stuff
Also,
like that.
AVA 3. Excuse me?
What?
I've
We
learned
could have
something
not
today.
timed that better.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
So something compelling about this remote in this army, in my opinion, this is an army where you may be very interested in taking an Evo hacker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have
Oh, Fairy Dust Heavy Infantry. Just...
you have fairy dust, but also you have a combat jumper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you could be choosing to have the Evo hacker to fake the combat jumper when really you have a hack Tau. You could do all kinds of weird shit with it, but you may be interested in having an Evo hacker. These guys go up in value a lot when you have an Evo hacker. Drop marksmanship on them. They do need to be in repeater range. They don't have repeaters built in.
No, they do not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
None of the TR bots do.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
I don't use TR bots much.
I don't either. It's important to note for combined army,
Right.
keep an Icadron nearby.
Oh no. You're not going to be running those guys.
Those guys are real rare.
Sun Bei Yao Kong. This is your missile launcher bot.
Wildcardable. So you can
Wildcardable,
That's
yeah.
cool.
throw that.
It's your
throw
cheapest
that
wildcard question mark?
into. Yeah.
It's not.
Hey, it's a BS12.
Is it not? What's the cheapest?
Pangolin?
Oh right.
It's a BS12 missile that
Yeah,
you can
by 2 points.
Fireteam. It's cool.
Also,
Guided missile. You have that option. You have infiltrating.
and you have not just infiltrating, combat jumping hacker.
Yeah. I don't know if guided missile is the play for this army.
You don't have the orders for it.
Wildcard cheap missile? Question mark.
Here will be
Wait,
my
it's better BS than the Zashi,
Zanche,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. You're right.
correct.
Yeah, just bring this
And
one.
is he cheaper than the Zanche missile?
Probably.
I think he might be on point or cheaper.
Same price.
Same price.
So take this. If you
Well,
want
he's
to.
got 1 point better armor.
That is a thing.
But listen, if that dude's losing firefights, it's kind of...
Let me just look at my
You're
list
sad.
real quick. Did I? Interesting. Okay, I forgot what I did, but now I know.
3 TR bots, let's go.
Right.
TR bots missile.
So you also have the flash full spot, 6/6 Mim 3. It's a cheap order.
Yeah.
It can also be a repeater. It's fine. AVA 2 is nice in this army. Sorry, military orders. The Rushi. I love the Rushi.
Yeah, it's really good.
MSV 2. We've talked about it before. MSV 2, BS 12, Arm
So,
Garbage, Spitfire.
If I'm not mistaken, there's only one other source of MSV2 in the army, right? And it's a reactive
Yeah.
piece. So this is your hunter killer.
You are correct.
And that's worth mentioning because as an Ariadne player, I'm fucking traumatized.
And your
by
only
Rushi.
MSV 1 is Laegong and a remote we haven't talked about yet.
Right.
So the Rushi has a very important place. AVA 2, I don't think you're going to be taking 2. But again, you could take this, you could take the combat jumper, you could have an Evo bot,
Yep.
right? And even at that point, maybe drop a TR bot in your list. And
Yeah. I mean, these guys I would strongly consider.
yes,
I agree.
they were made to beat bulleteers.
Okay.
And
They
boy,
are.
does it show.
All right, Lu Duan. This is a weird fucking thing.
I like it.
Ooh.
I like it a lot.
It has MSV1, which is automatically an interesting thing about it. They're 6'4", CC13, BS12, Fizz 10, Whip 13, Arm 0, BTS 6, Silhouette 4. Hollow Mask, Hollow Projector, MSV1, Remote Presence, Surprise Attack -3, Courage, Shock Immune, Mind Layer. What the hell?
I'm not sure about using the mine layer that often, unless you're
Well,
playing.
It has a repeater. You may as well put
Yeah.
out a repeater.
Yeah, but
It's not compelling. It's not compelling. To be honest.
the Zero Swick part with the Mark 12 heavy flamethrower and all of that shit with it is super fun.
It's super freaking weird. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what can you hollow project as? The answer is a Rushi
Or a pangolin.
Yeah.
or a
pangolins.
pangolin.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
And I've had this happen to me. But the funny thing is, the Luduan is faster than a pangolin.
So
Right. So you gotta either slow your roll. But I mean, okay, once you're moving 3 hollow projectors, the gig is
Right.
over. I mean,
Well, you don't have to put all 3 of them
you
out.
don't.
oh.
You could just have one hollow projected as a Rushi or a pangolin, and then
Oh.
lol flamethrower. Your
John,
parachutist
you
walks
ignorant
in.
slut.
That's fair.
You know, your Van Zant walks in thinking that all that can happen is this stupid baggage bot can arrow, look out, or whatever,
Okay.
right? And then suddenly it's like, nope, brat.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
But it's super weird. Pulse
There-
and Burst Heavy Flamethrower is disgusting, though.
And if you want to hollow project too, like just great way to get rid of minefields and stuff you're playing against
True.
Ariadne.
Yeah. Okay.
Or-
Yeah. This seems like a midfield bully.
But
Yeah.
even like your opponent not knowing which one's real for when they do parachute in, you know, if they have Van Zandt or Kowalski or whatever.
Razia.
Raziat, yes. All of those things. And the deployable repeater also helps with that.
Yeah. I mean, which is funny because they're not repeaters, but they
They're
can
not.
put a repeater down.
Yes.
That's funny.
You do have to keep in mind when you do the deployable repeater that you want that repeater to be within 8 of all of the hollow projectors if you're planning on having it for aero duty, because your opponent will know which one is not within 8.
I think you would break once you place it.
I don't think so. You don't break camo when you mine layer a mine.
You break camo when you place a deployable.
Right, but he has mine layer, right?
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
for mine
Initially.
layer. I meant in
Oh,
general.
moving
putting
on.
a mine down. I was like, yeah, the active
Yeah,
place
of course,
deployable would
of
break.
course.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but you have mine layer, so you can just pop a repeater down somewhere.
I think if I'm going against an opponent that's going to do the mental math on a deployable repeater
Fair
being
enough.
near a hollow projected Ludon,
I'm already fucked.
yeah, like once they notice that, I'm like, ah, shit, I brought this guy. So,
I think the real thing here, he's a 24-point MSV1 thing.
yeah,
That's really what he is.
And
The
you
other
know what?
stuff is cute.
MSV1 on a heavy flame, not heavy flamethrower, but like
A Mark 12. And surprise attack.
Yeah,
And you can have marksmanship on you.
yeah.
He's cute. Yao Zhao. I assume is how that's said.
What,
They're your
the-
Yedbot, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Take them if you want them.
Yep.
And then the Pangolin, the most exciting fat bot
They really are.
around.
The
So
FTO.
yeah, they have an FTO option that's a wild card. So you can take the 8-point baggage bot, whatever. It's a baggage bot.
But you know what? Baggage comes up.
It really. Oh,
I mean,
yeah. It does.
I saw somebody on Facebook today talking good things about total reaction.
I saw that.
And
Who?
Some guy.
It
I
was,
don't know.
it was on WGC Infinity.
Yeah.
What,
like-
Ken Adams?
I don't know. I didn't read the name. I saw something about the total reaction.
And then someone said it was auto included.
Fat bot. Yeah, and the guy's like, I've been taking that as an auto include. And that's when I was like, I gotta read this. And they're talking about how it complements the HMG TR bots. They're talking about for Pano, but still. Yeah, it got me too. Bruce looks like I just told him Santa's not real.
Well, Santa is.
What?
I'm a firm Santa believer.
Are you going to tell me the Hanukkah Goblin isn't real next?
It's a Hanukkah armadillo.
I've heard about the armadillo. Listen, whatever happens to Hanukkah, I can't speak on it.
If you're not nice, the Hanukkah Goblin will burn your house down. And it'll burn for 8 days. So you respect him. You leave cookies out. Cookies and latkes. Actually, donuts and latkes, really. Out at your Hanukkah bush.
Not bagels?
No, this is Hanukkah. Your bread is fried.
Okay.
Fried food is Hanukkah food for the
Okay.
oil,
He
obviously.
knows this more than we do. We just
Yeah,
go
no,
with it.
okay, fair enough.
So respect the Hanukkah Goblin. And if you tell me he's not real, I will burn your house down.
Wait, no, the Hanukkah goblin.
Sorry, I'm not the Hanukkah Goblin. Have you ever seen me and the Hanukkah Goblin at the same place?
I don't want to see the Hanukkah goblin.
Yeah, I don't want to see the Hanukkah Goblin.
You might already have.
My house hasn't burned down for 8 days.
Not yet.
Not yet. I do know where you live.
Yeah.
I had one time where the fire alarm went off in my house. I was home alone for like 20 minutes, and I had that awkward moment where I was like, "Oh God, it's been going on long enough," and I had to round up the animals. I hated it.
Oh, that's
And then it was a
not
false
hell.
alarm.
Of course it
After I
is.
traumatized everything in the house alone,
After you're like, okay, bunnies and cats, you're in the same cage.
dragging the cats out from underneath the couch because they were scared because the fire alarm had been going off for 10 minutes. Like the worst.
Yeah, so Pangolin, just the regular
8 point, it's
8.1.
8 points, whatever, who cares?
Excellent.
Right.
Evo Hacker, we mentioned him a lot. He's not an auto include.
It's the same as any other Evo hacker.
Not true, because armies with better remotes that fight are better with Evo Hackers.
Oh,
Armies
yeah.
with better combat jumpers are better with Evo Hackers.
That's fair.
For example, O12 often less interested in the Evo Hacker Fatbot. They don't have combat remotes.
They have that
Yeah.
Santiago piece
They've
of
got-
garbage.
They've got Dakinis.
They've got deltas. They have
They've
things.
got Dakini.
Yes, in vanilla, that is true.
Yeah.
If you're going to take a Dakini HMG, you're going to take the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Right. but-
Also, we
hey.
should know, Ian, just so you're aware, we will be going through what to buy to start Invincible Army in the next section.
Yeah, get fucked.
So, prepare your wallet. So yeah, total reaction combi rifle.
Wait, why am I a Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Because he said like science wise, like Santa would get diabetes if he ate all of like the milk and cookies.
Did I say that? I thought
Yeah.
I said that.
I didn't say that.
No, you said Santa wasn't real.
I don't comment.
No, I'm
You
just saying
filthy
it's not.
Santa denier.
Yeah, no. Christmas Day, my dad took me into the other room and showed me how Coca-Cola owned the trademark to Santa, and was like, I can't believe.
Wait, so was your dad like Mac's dad?
Kinda.
Okay.
Did he also make you like gut a deer that you killed yourself on Christmas Day or
No,
something?
we did have a weird toilet paper-based bartering system.
Excuse me.
Yeah, one time I went over to my dad's house.
This
and
is
he was,
so before COVID's time. You must have been prepared.
yeah, so he was like, here's your toilet paper. We're tired of arguing over whose toilet paper is whose. You can use this to barter for things while you're here.
Wait, so John, your childhood is like a mix of like Mac's childhood and Rickety Cricket's real life.
Kinda. I don't have any dogs fucking me.
Not yet.
That you remember.
Jesus.
Oh, so if you're still listening,
Jesus Christ.
total reaction combi rifle. I do not rate this, especially in an army that can take 3. Although here's the thing, you could take 3 total reaction HMGs and 2 total reaction pangolins.
Yeah,
and then,
but
and
why?
then 2 neurocynetics missiles.
No, but then you take the Luduan and then you hollow project them as more total reaction combo.
Oh my
rifles.
god.
And then the Ariada player just cries.
So you could have 8 total reaction combi rifles to play it on the table?
Yes.
Man, this is the worst idea.
No. Run with it, guys. I believe in you.
So
Defeated by just not doing that.
the last profile is by far the most compelling of them. It's an FTO repeater
Yeah.
Yep.
light shotgun for 12 points.
And
That's 12 points of fuck you. Armor 2 is no joke as well.
And Bruce is showing me some horror. He made the list we were just talking about.
Okay.
I didn't make it correctly. Let me.
But yeah, no, I like this. I mean, and it counts for because it's 25 points or
baggage.
15 for baggage. They changed it.
I can't remember.
All right, let me interject here real quick. If you take the 3 HMGTR bots, 2 Neurocynetics Yanhos, and then 2 Total Reaction Pangolins, that is 200 points on the nose.
There you go.
Can I just point out how much I appreciate that we made it to the last profile
And then
before
went off the rails.
slipping into total madness?
But honestly, so cool thing about this is you can have your MSV2 Hideout in arrow duty. And he fucking bites it, right? As he does. You just keep one of these guys nearby, command token him into the fire team, you're back at 5-man.
Yeah.
Ready to go
So baggage counts as 20 points. So this dude counts as 32 points.
with a light shotgun. Armor 2 in an army with a wildcardable freaking engineer in the fire team with him.
Yes.
So that if that baggage really matters to turn a zone, he can go turn a wrench and
Yeah.
you can swing from 0 points to 32.
And you know what? There's a lot to be said for having like some dumb light shotgun. Also, with how many weird deployables you have in this army,
Yeah.
sure, have a baggage bot. It's cool. It's one order. Refresh your Panzerfaust, Blitzens, mines.
And it's one of the cheapest orders in this army.
Yeah.
This guy's great. And he's armed too.
That's cool.
Like,
They're really good.
And you probably have an engineer tugging along.
exactly. They're great. Oddly compelling. I didn't know about it. I've already ordered mine.
And
So
the
you're
models
welcome
look
to everyone who hated the model, aka Bruce.
I really don't.
The
Because-
models look like aliens.
I love them, actually. I think they were the coolest looking baggage bot in the game until the Fuzzbots.
I was going to say until Fuzzbots because my god.
Yeah. Oh, I'm buying Fuzzbots just because I need Fatbots for every
I'm
single
probably
one
going
of
to
the
use
army that I'm in.
Fuzzbots in my A-Lift because I refuse to buy the Probot.
Yeah, I get that.
If you gave me a
until
Probot-
this year when they do
When they get
whatever-
squatted.
No, when they get squatted.
When Toha is in the 2-player box and become a Code 1 army.
There's a new faction and you're
It's-
just like, what?
It's, yeah, a new faction. A Hawk Biker Gang is their own faction because they
Yeah.
broke off from Hawk.
Right.
That'd be wild.
Cum bikers are their own thing now. They have
Oh,
their
cum
own
faction.
JSA. Yeah. The cum daddy.
So, let's talk about if you were to, be some sort of lunatic that wants to start this army today, what would you buy? So I have the Corpus Belli page up.
Okay.
So there's a lot. There's actually not that much in this line,
Right.
in this range. So I think the
Here's-
place to start.
Here's something weird I wanted to point out.
Okay.
The Invincible Army starter,
Yes.
you do not need it.
No.
You don't need it, but it is very nice.
If you want Zooyoungs.
Yeah.
Or the combat jumper. So
You can't get a losing anywhere else?
No.
no.
Okay, never mind.
So you don't need it, but I do think that this is a good foundation, right? Because you get 3 heavy infantry guys, and they're not all the same weapon either.
No.
You get a Zooyoung with combi, a Zooyoung with boarding shotgun, Zooyoung with missile. That's pretty cool. You get the Hideout? That's a Hideout, right? Yes, Hideout with combi rifle. You can use him as your engineer or your doctor. He's not the MSV2 multi-sniper one, but you can always proxy him or whatever.
Right.
And then you get a Liu Jing, which we've talked about a lot. He's sick. And then you get a DOW Ying. It's a good starting point.
Yeah.
Not entirely necessary.
That was all I was going to say, was that most other factions, I would say, well, get the starter. You don't need it.
Let me put it this way. The Invincible army I bought online from somebody didn't have any of the bits from this army pack.
There you go.
So-
I mean,
the person I bought this from was plain Yu Ching Invincible Army without the starter
A lot of their stuff is
I
blisters.
also immediately bought the starter pack.
Right, but it's a great starter pack.
Because I'm pretty sure I went, wait, there's a Zooyoung missile, why don't I own it?
Yep.
And then I looked at what it was and I'm like, oh, I don't have anything in here.
Yeah, all of the
Yoink.
sculpts just look absolutely sick. The Zooyoung shotgun is ideal.
Yeah.
So the one thing I will say about that starter is that you also would not be sad running any of the models in there.
Right.
Which is weird. It's like a weird double thing. You don't need any of the models. You also would not be let down by running everything in that box.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think the first things you really should get blister-wise is at least one Zanche.
And DOW Ying boarding shotgun too.
I mean, just DOW Ying in general. If you got the
If you have the starter pack,
got
you don't need a
sniper,
DOW Ying.
whatever.
You don't.
If you're not going to get the starter pack, get the DOW Ying.
Something with a Shangji in it.
Just get the Shangji box.
Right, but you don't need three.
Well,
Yeah,
it's-
you do.
right now it's the only way to get a Shangji. That
Bes-
isn't out of print.
Could be
Or
easier to find
no,
and
you
hang out.
buy the big $300
Fuck off
Eugene
box.
bundle. Yeah.
You could.
Which is a great deal for this army.
For Yu Ching.
For you, Ching, but I think, well, yeah, you got a lot of useless shit if you're doing just Invincible Army.
Invincible.
If you wanted to play Invincible Army, but also get into you, Ching,
Yes.
you are well established with that.
So I'd buy at least one of the Zanche blisters.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to be taking them a lot, I think.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I would consider Crit Cochran
Yeah.
as a starter
Oh, hell yeah.
bit. He's great. You'll use him a lot. And you can always proxy him as something else. And then I would probably consider, like, the High Dow blister. I'm kind of assuming that your bot situation is something.
Right. That's for any army, though.
Like, you're going to need the S3 bots, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe less so in this army than others, but
The new Eugene bots look nice.
the High Dow multi-sniper is sick. I would recommend him, too.
The
So-
Hulong, sick.
Yep. I don't think you need the Hulong, though. I think
You don't.
he's harder to fit into most lists.
I agree.
So you could probably leave him as like an expansionary piece.
Yeah.
But I think if you did the Invincible Army starter pack, Crit Cochran, 2 Zanche, and a High Dow, you're well on your way.
Throw a
Agreed.
Moang in there, too. You want something big.
That's
and
right,
heavy,
the Moang.
right?
Why
The
isn't-
the Moang, I feel like, is an excellent...
Why isn't the
Before you
Moang
get-
on here? Corvus Belly, fix your website.
It might just be in.
But I think if you're just getting started and you want, like, this is my attack piece, do the Moang.
Moang is great.
Or you get the Shangji HMG like an adult.
Yes, I would agree. The Shang-Chi box is a great... Yeah, the Moang is sick. You should definitely get it. It comes with 2 arms, right?
Yeah, it does.
I didn't build mine.
So we have a comment here. You might want a Ouija for looting and sabotage, but
Yep.
actually there's so many decharges in IA on profiles you want anyways. You can get away without it easily, and your list is probably better for it.
That's probably true.
Right. I mean, the Guija is one of those things where, like, I feel like
It's a
if
huge
you're
investment.
starting a faction, you don't need the
No,
tag.
and also too, I really feel that Invincibles don't want attack. They don't have the points
I'm
for
going to
it.
disagree with you on my list.
Yeah, no. No, there are definitely places for it in every mission, but
Yeah.
I don't think that
It doesn't
every time you sit down and make a list, like, oh, I can't wait to bring a Ouija and build my entire list around it.
Right. Some factions have weaker shit supporting a tag, and this is a lot of strong guys. And
Agreed.
You're not getting
Look at these
proportionally much more.
Clandathu looking freaking Evo bots.
Hate
Yeah.
it.
I'm so excited.
Hate it.
But yeah, I really think just a few boxes can get you well on your way. I don't think you should start with the tag. I really
Agreed.
don't. You don't even need to get the Shangji box. You can always proxy one of your dudes as the
One dude,
Shangji.
Yeah, because you're not going to take 3.
You're gonna take wounded too.
Yeah, you're not taking 3.
You're going to, but...
Yeah, because I'm right.
All right, are we ready to talk about our lists?
Sure.
I do have to get going in a little bit.
How much is a little bit?
Like 20 to 30.
We can rush through it,
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do
or
it.
we could do yours and then.
No. Let's go through it.
All right, so we have Supremacy V2. Who wrote this?
That is me.
Do we need to read through the ITS mission for Supremacy?
That's just there's 4 quarters, and you want to hack the consoles in each one of those quarters.
There you go.
Oh, and there's, like, progressive scoring.
Yes.
So every turn you do the table quadrants, and whoever has more table quadrants
Gets
scores.
points.
Yes.
But then, at the end of the game, the more important part is having
hack.
3 consoles hacked.
Right.
Yes.
All right, so go through your list.
Got a Shangji Tactical Awareness Heavy Rocket Launcher. Shangji Forward Observer Tactical Awareness. Shangji Tactical Awareness with APHMG and Tinbot. Shangji Hacker. Cockrum FTO. DOW Ying Hacker. +1 Lieutenant Order. Zanche Hacker. 2 Flashbolt spots. A Pangolin. And a Warcore.
What kind of pangolin? What kind of crit cockrum?
Regular ass Pangolin. 8 points.
Fair
Yeah, what
enough.
kind of
And
Warcore?
It's 6 cents or
360 Visor.
I'm a Sixth Sense kind of guy.
And then the multi-rifle +1 damage for Cockrum.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it seems solid. I feel like the idea is to throw the baggage bot in one quadrant and then just go stomp over the other ones.
And also, too, having the DOW Ying as a hacker is I want to use the Zanche to move up first, hack the consoles up front, have the Pain Train move up, and somehow survive for 3 turns.
Fair enough. I mean, the heavy rocket helps with that.
It does, especially once you move up. It gets into a weird range bands if you're trying to tussle with a missile. I think the APHMG in a core team can function with that enough. The flash pulses are there just to be there. If I can, I want to move them up into my quadrants just so I control those a little bit better and don't have to worry about parachutists. But again, I don't have a paramedic. I don't have a way to keep my guys up. So if I die, I am dead.
Something worth mentioning, though, you do have 15 effective orders in one group.
That's correct.
Dope.
I have my one critique. Boy, it'd be nice if you had a paramedic in that fire team.
Oh, it would.
I would consider downgrading the forward observer to a paramedic.
Nope.
You can get a Zooyoung paramedic in there.
I will not be doing that because that's not tack awareness.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, but
No, you're correct. You are correct. That would be the better option.
you have a fire team of Fizz 14 dudes.
Correct.
Yeah.
A paramedic sounds amazing.
It does. It is.
You could split your burst and heal 2 in one go.
That's correct. I will not be doing that. I need the tack awareness.
I got it.
Can't spend tack awareness if you're dead.
They won't die easy.
Easy.
Invincible.
I'm sorry. I don't. That sign can't stop me because I don't know how to read.
All right, who next?
Fair enough. Let's just move on from that, I
I
guess.
feel like Bruce has said all he needs to say about this.
Apes together strong. Wait, we're not doing the monkey episode
Bringing
yet.
a paramedic is a sign of weakness.
Dude, I can't remember the last time I ran a paramedic in any of my lists.
As an Ariana player, primarily, I'm like, what do you mean you bring your dudes back?
Exactly.
Bother?
Just get more.
I gotta spend orders for that? Nah.
All right, you're up next with your Frostbite.
Okay,
So explain Frostbite.
So
Very
Frost-
brief.
Frostbite's
Jesus.
bizarre because you have 3 classified objectives, and also you have a bunch of heaters. The heaters don't matter as much as people think. You just have to have 1 turned on by the end of the game, and you can destroy the heaters by attacking them. Also, then you score based on how many army points are left. So it's like 3 separate missions in one.
And then the things that don't die are heavy infantry tags and remotes,
Correct.
right? So,
And weirdly enough, baggage does not matter if you're dominating the middle of the table.
oh,
At
yeah,
the end.
interesting.
So then, at the end of the game, everything that's not in a heater-controlled zone or is in the middle dies. So that's everything in the middle does die. Anyway, so I started off. This is a 1 combat group list. I have a Guija lieutenant. So my reason for that is I think
Make it snow ups.
make it the snow ops. You got 4 orders to spend on this guy, and he can break consoles. He will survive the middle. He's got a flamethrower. He will dominate the middle. The fact that if this dude is just there, you can't shift him easily.
Yeah.
And then I have Hideout Multi-Sniper with MSV2. I've got John, the engineer. Shangji, Tack Awareness.
APHMG.
Pangolin,
You should specify.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Because there are
HMG.
like 12 tack awareness.
Okay.
But not a paramedic.
Pangolin FTO and a Zooyoung paramedic. So that
Coward.
team means to just run up the board. They are going to be the scary midfield. The Hideout is probably... So the Hideout and the HMG are probably going to be less effective as you get towards the middle, but the idea being that like you have a paramedic in there, you have an engineer in there, you've got MSV, you can do your your classifieds.
You also have a
What you need to do.
You also have a dangerous arrow versus like, oh,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Flash me?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Yoda.
This
I'm
thing is
BTS 9. And
Right,
it's
this
like,
thing is gonna fuck you up in reactive. And then I got a Zooyoung. Oh, I already said that. Zanche hacker.
Yep.
2 flashball spots and a random dipshit Zanche.
Yep.
So the Zanche's there if the Zooyoung gets murked.
So
Why wouldn't you take a pangolin instead of the Zanche?
yeah, Pangolin and
I could do that.
you can take a Pangolin and a Warcore.
Well, you could also take
I
a
took
12-point
the
pangolin.
FTO. Yeah, I took the Zashi to be a regular order and a Fireteam replacement. You're right. I should take a second Pangolin FTO
Because they don't die to cold.
Yep.
And well, baggage doesn't matter.
It doesn't, but still.
It's still a light shotgun versus a combi rifle. It's
That's
a
why
fire
you bring
team
the
option.
regular Pangolin and the Warcore. So you have
Well, you can
another
take-
flash
I mean,
pulse.
you could, but Carl's right. I had the point, and
He has the point. Like, this is
spend it.
obvious. Just upgrade him to...
Yeah, so I would.
That's
I would
true.
make that critique.
That's true.
Yeah, but honestly, I think the Guidra's a good choice for this.
I agree.
It's cold.
Right.
Yeah, see what I did there? All right, my list. This is Decapitation. That's what I rolled
Which
up.
that one's an interesting one.
I'm bringing Zanche.
Excuse me?
Okay.
So, combi rifle Zanche, paramedic Zanche, missile Zanche. I know what you're thinking. Hold your comment. Combi rifle Zanche. Sunbei Yaokong missile launcher.
Ooh.
I have a Zensha hacker,
No, you filthy son of a bitch.
a Zensha forward observer, 2 Liu Jing hackers, and a Moang NCO in order group 1. This. So the Moang is my conventional attacker.
No, get to group 2 before you start talking about
group,
your units.
Group 2 is a DOW Ying lieutenant +1 order boarding shotgun, not the hacker. And 2 Yao Kong flash pulse bots. The flash pulse repeater bots.
Yep.
So this is not a very conventional, invincible. Do not bring this to a convention.
Do it. No balls.
Invincible army list. But looking at Decapitation and what the mission is, this is one of those tricky missions where it's kill without being killed.
Yep.
One of the best ways to do that is hilarious arrows that trade up, aka missile launcher chuds.
Yep.
Another great way to do it is guided. And so I have 3 effective methods of getting guided on the enemy.
This is a horseshit list.
No, I love it. This is hysterical.
It's very different.
The amount of
Yeah.
times we've railed against guided.
So I hate guided as a mechanic. If
Oh,
Corvus
yeah.
Belli tomorrow said we have removed the guided mechanic from the game,
Perfect.
the game would be better.
Yes.
Right.
Period. Full stop. This is a degenerate list. Do not bring this to a fun game.
Do it. Do it. No balls.
Because it's not a fun list to play or
No,
play against.
it's not.
To be honest.
It's not.
But that's not what we're doing here, right? I was asked to make the best, meanest list I could for this mission, and this is what I came up with, thinking a little bit too hard. So yeah, the Liu Jing hackers are hilarious at being a delivery method for this. They can combat jump. They can just walk in from the side. You don't have to explosive
Yep.
combat jump in. Because you're going to know who their lieutenant is.
Right.
If you can drop a spotlight on them, just start raining hellfire on them.
Yep.
But sire, our troops.
If they have a dipshit Fusilier lieutenant, you can Goomba stomp them.
Right.
Right? They're dual purpose. You don't have to guide it with them, but they can.
And they have a boarding shotgun.
That's the point.
Oh.
Get there, kill their lieutenant. The DOW Ying lieutenant is pretty safe. I chose not to bring a hacker because then you can't blow up my brain. Medium infantry.
That's a great
Right.
point.
You can't do anything to my hacker if you're a hacker, right? Like, being a hacker can be a weakness and a liability. I have no intention of using my lieutenant as a hacker.
I was going to say, there's even a play where you take the sensor bot, run them up, they're a repeater, you censor, discover them, and then you hack through it.
Right.
You can't do that to this guy.
Right.
You gotta go climb the building.
You got to go dig him out, and then he's going to boarding shotgun you in the face at some point.
Yep.
So, and his orders can be spent by the Moang NCO for the conventional fighty-fighty. I didn't expect to take Zanche in this list, but I wanted the Zanche missile plus the Sanbei Yaokong missile. So once I'm done guided, I can have a 2 missile arrow if I want. It's weird,
Right. But hey.
but I think it's effective. I think it shows what Liu Jing can do. and Zanche can do. This mission is also important. You have to kill 2 HVTs, and that's what the Zanche are for. And the Liu Jing. So, like, the Zanche Forward Observer, he can just absolutely murder HVTs.
Oh, yeah. Something fun about camo things with Forward Observer and Panzerfaust is that if they delay, you can Panzerfaust or Forward Observe them to get the missile play off.
Yeah.
So you can't reliably... I mean, you have to have a second guy there delaying to keep him from popping out and doing something horrific to you.
Right. So he's interesting. Yeah, I think this list is interesting. Again, do not play this list as your friendly game.
But man, do it anyway. It's funny.
Do it to Bruce.
Do it, Bruce. Do it to any of us.
We deserve it.
I deserve it.
Do we have any closing thoughts on Invincible Army?
It is hard to get all the things you want in this army because everything cool immediately fills up the points. So that's the struggle I find.
Yep.
Is toning it back.
Yep.
Because it's amazing. It's so easy to find things that you love. It's hard to take out the things that you don't love enough to make the list.
You're spoiled for choice.
Yeah.
You really are.
And then these puzzle pieces also just fit phenomenally in vanilla as well.
Yeah.
And White Banner.
Yeah.
The ones that are in White Banner.
Yeah. Shangji.
Shangji are great.
Turns
out.
If you don't bring Shangji and White Banner, I am judging you.
Let me look at White Banner real quick. I mean, they are your best attacking piece in White Banner. By kind
also,
of a
too,
lot.
they're the only way Judex can Fireteam.
Well, they can duo.
Shut up. You're scum. Yeah, I really do like Invincibles. I would really encourage people to at least check them out and try them if they're even slightly curious.
They paint up so nicely.
The new models are just absolute.
It's a great
pleasures
range because
to
I
paint.
think the Zooyoungs are the oldest models
And they still look awesome.
outside of like the Fatbots and the Rushi and the Luduan,
Yeah, those are the oldest models in the range by far.
and they look great.
I don't think there's anything else that's like bad. I really think the Fatbots are the only bad sculpts and I'm not.
I like the Fatbots.
I'm not super sold on the Luduan or the Rushi or the support bots. But
Support
the
bots
rest,
are fine.
yeah, they're fine. But the rest of this army is absolutely beautiful.
And like with the S3 bots, you can always use whatever armies you like most and paint
That's
them
true.
orange or whatever your Yuching color is.
I think one of the best ways to describe this army is like they play the way Space Marines should have felt
Yeah,
in 40K. Is that you have a few dudes who are amazing at everything.
And they're flexible too.
Yes.
yeah.
Right? Like we've seen so many profiles that have so many things tacked on. Like you have a shotgun and you're a hacker and you're a this and you're a that and you're also NCO and you also dodge good and you don't fight too bad either. Like
Yep.
they are the tactical Marines of this game.
Totally.
But better. Also, sorry, military orders players.
You got Trinitarians.
Zanche versus Trinitarians.
I know which one I'd rather take.
Which one?
Trinitarians.
Trinitarians are really good.
That's a discussion for another day.
That is a discussion for another day. I think we're going to wrap it up here.
Yeah, this one's been pretty quick.
Well, yeah, there's not much to complain about. This army's just good.
Why did we talk so long about TAC then? TAC is awesome.
Because that was our first ever
Yeah, we're
podcast.
figuring our life out.
Yeah.
Because
well,
now we know what our life is
Yeah,
about.
now we figured it out.
I found myself when I was in Europe.
Yeah.
John.
I've never been to Europe.
Uncultured swine.
I was going to go for my honeymoon.
You're the only one that hasn't been to Europe
Yeah, I
yet.
was going to go and then COVID.
There you are, champ.
Yeah.
On that note,
If you're interested in voting on what we cover next, please visit our Patreon.
is there a post up there for that yet or no?
No, not yet. I'll post it, I don't know, tonight or something.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah. And
Also,
hey,
just a big thank you to everyone who's part of our Patreon. If you are a patron and you're not in our Discord, please reach out to us so we can get you into our little Patreon chat on there.
and
Yep.
also, if you're just listening and you're not on our Discord, feel free to jump in. We mostly talk about local play, but also we'll talk to people from
You'll
anywhere.
get a glimpse into the madness that is.
The San Diego
Yeah,
Infinity
exactly.
crew.
There's a lot of.
Shenanigans.
fuckery.
It's basically this podcast, but in text format and
For better or for worse.
less focused.
Right.
But yeah, we've had some great conversation with people from Switzerland, a couple Australian dudes that provide a bunch of great perspectives from their meta.
Isn't the dude from Switzerland the dude who just joined because he thought it was a Swiss?
Yeah,
We
but
don't
we don't
talk
talk
about
about
that.
that.
We don't talk about
Just
that. Yeah.
And
No. He was a Czech who thought it was.
Yeah.
You thought it was the Discord for the Greater Switzerland area.
Also, shout out to Denmark, I think, for being your #1 gaming podcast.
Something like that. That was months ago. Who knows what it is now? We got to shout out Robot House, our biggest and best
seriously.
supporter
patron. If you have any painting needs, check him out. He's great.
He's incredible. He's
Or if
painted,
you need
300 armies.
a line to get new Invincibles models, he has
Yes, he can also order
Infinity models.
most everything that's in print
Yeah.
right now. Supply demand. I mean, we've seen supply issues with this game.
I haven't. I've always bought every new release, so that's not my problem.
How is getting bolts?
Life finds a way.
You know, bolts are really easy to find until N4.
I'm gonna strangle you in your sleep.
You know, I bought them on a whim because they were awful. I'm like, you know what? I really like how they look though, so let me just buy them. Different times. But yeah.
So, if you ever see a model that you want on Infinite, that's being made by Corvus Belli, and you're not sure if you want it, just buy it now.
You're not wrong. And on that note, yeah, we'll end it here. Thank you for listening. Tune in next time, and check out our Patreon if you want to participate in voting.
Yeah, and reach out to us on Discord.
Yeah.
We'll be kind of normal. Not really.
The shot. We already have a vote.
God damn it.
All right.
I wonder who it is.
Michael. Rhyme with Schmeibel.
Does it rhyme with goalie?
Oli. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Bye.